This episode of Ouzo Talk is brought to you by Kingsford Smith Transport. Have a group that needs transporting? KST has you covered with their fleet of professionally maintained buses and coaches, catering from 9 to 57 passengers and driven by experienced drivers. Visit kstbuses.com.au to talk to the team and make your booking. Kingsford Smith Transport, proud sponsors of the Ouzo Talk podcast. There's no Ouzo Talk without a bottle of Ouzo, which is why we love the Greek Providor. Get a real taste of the very best produce that Greece has to offer. From olive oils and delicious artisan sweets to unique spirits, earthy herbs and memorable wines. Visit thegreekprovidor.com.au to see their amazing range. The Greek Providor, proud sponsors of the Ouzo Talk podcast.
Sound is.
Nick Athanasiou, we are live from the Greek Festival of Sydney. Mate, how excited are you to be here right now?
Mate, who would have thought 21 years in the making? This is the last time this event was on. How good is this?
It was 21 years ago now, wasn't it? I mean, this used to be a mainstay here at Brighton, and now we are fortunate enough to be part of this next edition. Now that it's back here, how amazing is that for us? What an honour!
How old were you 21 years ago, guys?
I'm not going to say.
Babies.
29 maybe?
Well, I was still in high school. Well, look, Nia Karteris, welcome to Ouzo Talk, the organiser of this event. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's great that you guys are here. It's great that we have this young vibe. That's what it's about. It's about the future. I don't know if I was fortunate or unfortunate. 21 years ago, I started as chair in 2003. That was my first year as the chair of the Greek Festival of Sydney.
Really?
So 21 years later, here I am. I never expected this from the people, so thank you very much to all the Sydney-siders that are here today. And it's great. It's a great young vibe. It's a great young feeling. Obviously, a lot to think about for 2025.
No, look, you've done an amazing job, but look, we've got to make it known that it's the 42nd Greek Festival. It started in mid-Feb. You've had 37 events on. This is your second street event. And is this the finale? This is going to close up the Greek Festival for 2024? This is the finale.
We do have one more event on the 4th of June, which is a collaboration with Newtown Performing Arts School. Mm-hmm. It's a collaboration between the art school and the Mithras buses, which is a very, very, very unique, fantastic event. He's working with young, upcoming artists, symphony artists, choirs, dancers. All these young people are studying this for their future. They're 17, 18 years old, and they get the opportunity to perform with the Mithras buses. They're performing in Greek. They're learning everything Greek. And it just goes to show the calibre of the festival and the uniqueness of the festival and where it's reaching mainstream, reaching Department of Education. They've inducted this into their official program every year. And it's something that we as a festival are very proud, and I think that we as Greeks should be very proud of.
Fantastic.
100%. Look, when we got here early, we were helping set up. I think I was telling you earlier, it's not very Greek. I didn't hear one malaka. It was so organised. Everything happened. I didn't hear see malaka being inserted. Didn't hear any of that. It just went like clockwork. Everyone was relaxed. Everyone was calm. Set up their story.
You weren't here at 3 a.m. in the morning.
That's when all of that stuff was happening, right?
It's all calm now. Calmness. It was a storm before the calmness.
Of course.
But anyway, I have to say that even the infrastructure coming in, the production side of things, it did all go smoothly, and that's a credit to a lot of people coming together and putting this together, from the infrastructure being put in, from electricians coming on board, the plumbers coming on board, Roads and Traffic Authority, Council, everyone coming together, everyone knowing what they had to do. We knew we had a window of 6 hours to get it all done, and we made it on time. People were out by 10 o'clock and storeholders were ready to operate and having a roaring trade, and that's what it's about. That's what we want. We want them to have a roaring trade because they'll come again and again. And it's from us as second and third generations how we promote our Greek culture to the wider community, because I can see here that I'm sitting, there's Greeks, there's non-Greeks, there's every ethnic community that's here, and that's what me personally am proud of, being a Greek, that, you know, when we set our minds to do something, we go all out or we don't do anything. So I think this is an answer. I think council should stand up and have a look at what we've done.
Yeah.
They asked us to leave 21 years ago because we were too
Really?
big. I don't know what their answer is going to be today, because it's going to be bigger than 21 years ago. But a credit to that, and a credit to Steve Camper, I have to say that.
Yeah.
And to the Minister of Multiculturalism. To everybody that has taken part, the Oscar's group, the Gravanas family, Michael Aganastor, the General Manager, they have been amazing to us. Bill Mujos, you know, he was here at 2 o'clock in the morning asking everybody for coffee, kept the shop open for all of us. Everybody, I can't, I'm going to forget someone, the Bank of Sydney that's next to us, Denny's Travel, all our sponsors, all the store holders.
Well, I had a look at it. You've got over 20 sponsors here, so and 20 people that helped out. So,
And that's the thing. Every name that we've just mentioned there,
yeah,
we're somehow connected with one or the other, whether they've been sponsors of the show, sponsors of the festival, and they're all local.
Yeah.
It's such a tight-knit community, isn't it?
Exactly.
We all know each other.
And look at Bill Iliavis, you know, he comes here year in, he's been doing stage and sound for me for like 20, 25, even before me, 30 years or so. And he's still here. The man's a legend. Advanced staging, Enmore Theatre. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, look, the crowd just want to be part of it. And a credit to you guys. Let's not forget you guys. Ouzo Talk. You're out there. You want to do things. You want to get out to the people. Somebody out there that's listening to this, you know, help these guys. They need funding. You know, let's not be proud Greeks to say we're proud Greeks and be here. Put our proud Greeks, put our hands in our pocket and help these young people, because they are our future. You know, we're gone, and someone's got to take over all of this and make it happen and continue to happen so we can be proud.
Well, this is the thing. This is the reason why you do what you do. It's the reason why we do what we do. It really is about showing our community and our culture and our heritage in the best possible light, isn't it?
Exactly. And even, you know, we've got about 200-300 kids that are performing all day today. And they're keeping their culture alive through the dancing, through the music. And all of us combined, look, we Greeks are funny creatures.
No.
We either hate each other or we love each other. But when it comes to the crunch, you know, everyone has differences. I understand that. But when it comes to the crunch, we all are so united and proud to be Greek that nothing can
100%.
stop us. Nothing can
we
stop
put
us.
our mind together. 100%.
That's right. And
But
look at this is today.
the
What a
good
great
thing
result.
is, I love what you just said, by the way, that we're young. That's my favourite line from you. But talking about the next generation, there's so many young kids out there. You're talking about young dancers. You think, you know, it's surpassed us. It was the generation that came here in the 50s and 60s that are slowly aging. But there's a new revelation coming through, a new generation coming through. And even like us, Tom, we're going to a new stream now. We're going through podcasting, which is new for the Greek community, I'm assuming, you know, in the last 10 years.
Somebody talked about podcasts 10 years ago, they'd laughed at us. They'd say,
Correct.
well, you know, but look at it now, it is the new wave. It's
It
the
is.
way to be, the way to move. Everyone's doing podcasts. Everyone all over the world, some of the most influential people are, you know, are doing podcasts. And,
Exactly.
and it's something you guys started, you know, a few years back, struggled. There's no doubt about that. But you're sitting there and being persistent about it because you love it. It's your passion.
Absolutely.
So, you know, that's what it all takes. Sometimes I know people say, you know, why do people do anything? Why do you volunteer? Why do you do everything? But if you don't give something back to your community that they give you, then we might as well just pack up and go home and just become assimilated with every other community.
Well, let's talk about why. I mean, we've just spoken about the fact that we want to promote our culture and whatnot. But why is it important for you? You've been involved in this sort of thing, you know, the Darling Harbour Festival, you know, so many events that you guys put on. Why is it that you continue to do what you do, and why do you think it's important to do something like this here today?
I have a passion for culture, and when I started, I didn't know this journey that I would be taking and where the festival would be taken. But I think that it's important that people have the need to give to the community. It's not always about receiving or just saying, "Oh, I'm just going to go and have a souvlaki, or I'm going to have a frappe or something, I'll go home." What can you do to say I'm Greek? It's easy to say I'm Greek, but it takes a lot of time, effort and courage, and say, look, you know what, these girls here, I do what I do, but they're all here volunteering. Everyone's here volunteering today, giving up their valuable day. They could be somewhere, it's a beautiful, gorgeous, sunny day in Sydney. No one expected this weather.
Absolutely not.
They'd probably be
Everyone was stressed about it.
Sitting in a cafe, having a nice cafe, having a nice lunch, and not worry about it. But if we're all like that, then nothing will happen.
True.
And I'm a person of responsibility, so if I'm going to do it, I might as well just do it well and get it done, and be proud of it, you know. And I am proud. I'm proud of my heritage. I'm proud of what everybody does. You know, the storeholders, you know, they give up their time to try and sell, to make a bit of money. They're not going to make storeholders don't make a fortune except for food. They, you know, obviously, let's not kid them. But good luck to them, because you know, putting up a food store, it takes weeks, preparation, momentum.
And plus, it's quality too.
It's quality.
If they served up crap, no one would go.
No.
Because you're serving quality.
And look at the
queues
queues out there.
100%.
But I think everybody inside of them has got this passion to give a little bit back to the community. Others have more time, others have less time. But even if you give an hour a week, an hour a day, we can be so united, and we're proud. And funny enough, we've got Hirisa here from the Trade Commissioner.
She's standing right here.
And I'm going to say that because she's a representative of the Greek government. We as Greeks that live abroad, I think we're more passionate about our heritage, the hardships that, you know, our parents and grandparents went through. So, and we go back and we have a good time, but we are passionate about it. And I tell you what really annoys me is when somebody comes from Greece and says, "Oh, you know, the Greeks in Australia, or Greeks wherever you are 2 times Greeks." I don't want to hear that. I'm a Greek. I'm not 2 times Greek, I'm a Greek. And I think that we have more of a passion to keep our language alive, our culture alive, than back home. And I say that with all respect to them. But you go to Greece and nobody speaks Greek. Nobody listens to Greek music. You have to go find it because they want to simulate with Europe. They want to become one of Europe. We're here, we want our kids to learn Greek. We want to listen to the Greek music. We want our kids to do Greek dancing. And I'm sure that's everywhere, all over the world. And when I speak with other festivals all over the world as a network that we are, that's their aim and goals. They want their kids to say Kalimera, Kalispera. They want their kids to be able to do Greek dancing. They want them to go to Greece and feel they're part of one. I know, and it's true, if we're in Greece, we're Australian. If we're Australian, we're Greek. So somewhere in between, we'll find a balance.
Look, we'll said it. We're so far away from mainland Greece. We're in Australia, for God's sake, which is, you know, you couldn't get any further from Greece. But look how strong the culture is. And it's not shrinking, it's actually growing.
Well, there's thousands of people here right now, you know, walking past. There's a few people stopping by saying hello. The stalls are amazing. The food is amazing. I mean, the weather that it's put on for us today.
Good job. Is that you, Nia?
That was
me.
weather
That's
on.
me. I had a
put
chat.
The weather on.
Had a chat to God this morning.
We did a rain dance last night.
Yeah,
you know?
that's right.
Well, look, Nia, you've done an absolutely amazing job.
Should we just? We always ask every guest. So, what part of Greece are you from? Where are
I'm
your
from,
ancestors
I
from?
actually was born in Greece.
Really? Wow.
I was born in Agrinio, which is central Greece.
Nice.
Which is about an hour away from Nafpaktos.
Yes.
That makes it easy for everyone to understand. My parents and my other 2 siblings migrated here in 1970. So we were the latecomers of the migration.
Sure.
I can assure you, for the first 20 years of my life, I didn't want to be Greek. I wanted anything else but Greek. The racism was very, very in our face. But
something we've spoken about a lot on this podcast.
And a lot of guests say that.
Yeah, they do.
It was huge. And I still think we still have racism in a different format. But unfortunately, we as Greeks have become racist within the new emerging communities, and we just need to step back and say, you know, hang on, our parents came, this is the hardship, I came, I had the hardship.
What we went, our parents
we're all
did.
one, we're a big community, and we all should be united and all love each other and love our neighbour and promote our culture to them and let us learn from them also.
Very well
Well
said.
said, Nia. Beautiful. Well, look, thank you.
Thank you,
Congratulations.
guys. Congratulations to you too.
Oh, you've done an awesome day.
This is
we love-
everyone together makes this a success. And thank you to everybody that's here today. That's what's made it a success. We just do the background work to make sure this happens.
Well, hopefully we're back permanently every year.
I hope so. I hope to see you on stage next year.
Absolutely.
We'll see how we
Thanks,
go.
Neo.
Thank you, Nia.
guys. Thank you very much.
Well, Nick.
Tom, hey, how good's that?
Oh, man.
And mate, everything he said, it was all about passion. No one does this for profit. We're all sort of volunteering.
Well, that's the key thing, isn't it? I mean, it is a huge outlay of time and effort and whatnot to be able to put days like this on. I mean, even just the logistics of us coming through and being able to actually set this sort of stuff up.
Is that your relo?
There is one of my relatives. We've got relatives walking past, we've got friends walking past, and yeah, I mean, it just really does feel like
is.
community, and
what
that's
a
the
day.
whole point.
And what a day it is today. This is like for the Northern Europeans, this is our fall. It's like the end of...
It is.
It's beginning of winter for us now, and then next week.
We're just a few days away from winter, and Jesus, I mean, you could really go for a swim today, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could. I think it's a teaser, isn't it? So this is where we sort of start to prep for our Greece trip now, isn't it? Around this time.
Well, I just came back, so
We were going to touch on that.
yeah, we'll probably
But-
touch on that later, but
We will bring that up, but we've got another guest here.
we do. We've got Chrisa here, who is actually as Nia mentioned, the trade commissioner here from the Greek consulate here in Sydney. Chrisa, I've forgotten your last name again. What's your last name again?
My last name is Prokopaki, Chrisa Prokopaki.
Welcome, Chrisa.
Thank
Chrisa's
you
a
for
great
having
friend.
me here. Thank you.
Thank you for
He's a
coming.
legend.
Congrats on your good job, on your great job.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, your office and obviously the Consul General himself, Yanni Malikurti, has been very supportive of the show. He's been on the show so many times. Just quickly, can you just explain what you actually do for those who don't understand?
Yes, the Trade Commissioner has here the mandate to promote the Greek exports to Australia and to promote the inward investment in Greece and the inward tourism in Greece, from Australia to Greece.
Fantastic.
So what's the biggest export from Greece to Australia at the moment?
Actually, till last year it was pharmaceuticals, the medicine, yes. But now, this year, it is the food products. We can see here in the booths many of the Greek exporters who export food in here.
So I'm really surprised by that. Pharmaceuticals. I didn't realize that. I mean,
Yes.
I know that there's a huge industry over there, but I didn't realize that we were actually exporting into Australia.
Yes, we do, but we had increase. We had for 3 months a shortage of pharmaceuticals, and that's why it is decreased this year. So
We've got it all here in Australia.
yes, yes.
So
All the materials
is that
were
why it's
exported
decreased?
here in Australia.
So can you give us an example of what pharmaceutical goods? So I wouldn't have a clue. I wouldn't even know one that we have in Australia that comes from Greece.
Most of the materials were vaccination materials here.
Yeah, the Greeks.
Yes, and now most of the materials are Ouzo.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Is that because of me and Tom?
Probably.
It's because of
Us too.
of you guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
See what we've done.
That's
for
just
Ouzo?
our
Ouzo,
personal consumption.
Cipro and olive oil. Yes, you have increased the consumption here in
Beautiful.
Australia.
Well, let me tell you, I don't know if you've seen the last episode that we released, but we went through how many bottles of something like 14 bottles of
we
Ouzo.
taste tested 14 bottles. We didn't drink 14 bottles, but or maybe. But that doesn't include the Cipro we had, which we didn't rate.
Well, the Cipro was the palate cleanser
How
in
many
between.
people?
There were 4 of us. But yeah, it was.
4 of you.
Yeah.
But
so-
we had a lot of food, so
Yes, that
the
helps.
food helped a lot. But yeah, so that's fantastic. So pharmaceuticals, food. So what? Feta, Dodoni.
Feta, yes.
Yeah.
Feta, yes, mostly Dodoni
Yeah.
exports in
course, it's the
here,
best.
yes.
I'm guessing-
But we have to,
It's from Ibero.
have to point out that there is a big local production of feta in here.
But we don't
That's
call
a
that feta.
counterfeit. Yeah, feta with double T. Yes, and that's a counterfeit for the Greek.
I didn't
For
know
the Greek
that.
feta,
So
yes.
feta with a double T is the counterfeit version.
Yes, it's the Australian-made
There you go.
feta.
Wow. So is there a rule now where or are we working on a rule, a European rule, where they can't call it feta? They've got to change the name, similar to what the French have done with champagne and
So
sparkling
protected designation of origin, I think it's called.
Yes.
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 wine. Is there something like that for feta?
Yes, there is this protected destination origin on feta within Australia, within the European Union. This is not, unfortunately, this is not the case here in Australia yet, because we don't have any free trade agreement yet. But we are under negotiation, and after this, after we finish with this agreement, feta is going to be protected here in Australia as well.
Awesome. And the other one, you've got the easiest sell in the world, getting people to go back to Greece. Like, that must be the easiest job in the world for you.
For tourism.
For tourism, getting Australians to go back to Greece.
The Australians travel to Greece. The Australian inflows in Greece have almost doubled since 2016, and now more than 300,000 Australians travel every year to Greece.
Wow.
300,000.
So when you take into consideration that the last census that Australia had, I think it said officially there were 500,000 Greeks in Australia. We know that there's more than that, because someone like me, for example, might not be counted in that. In that
Is that because you didn't fill out your census form? You
Probably.
threw it in the bin.
Probably. You're not supposed to say that on but anyway, no. But when you consider that, like, that 300,000 out of 500,000 are going back.
But there's a lot of non-Greeks as well. A lot of Anglo-Australians,
That's
Italians.
what we want to promote. We don't want only Greek Australians to travel to Greece, and it's a good thing that we have noticed here is that many Australians who love Greece and write about Greece and taste the Greek food and travel in order to find the sun, the Greek sun, the weather, the sea, the people, the hospitality in there.
See, just you saying that, I can see in your eye there's like a glimmer there, and there's, you're obviously very proud about what you do.
Yes, I'm really proud of mostly about this. I'm really proud of the people who love Greece without having a Greek background.
Yeah.
Definitely. So we just made Alison the ambassador of Australia to Greece.
Yes.
Even busier, haven't we?
I think so. I'd like to think that between the three of us here, we've contributed to that to some degree.
Alison, we're sending more Australians over for you.
That's right.
Look after them.
Make sure you get travel insurance.
And don't ride mopeds without helmets.
That was the big thing.
That was my thing. So what part of Greece are you from? Where were you born?
I come from Crete originally.
Crete?
Yes,
Oh,
both
wow.
my parents come from Crete.
Okay. And
That's why my last name ends in Akis.
Yes.
Yes.
That's right. And your grandparents, how far back do you go?
all of them.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
original Cretan product.
Really? 100% pure Cretan. I love it.
Yeah.
What part of Crete?
I come from Rethymno.
Beautiful. Okay, so we all know, we've spoken about this before with our great friend Nick Andriotaki, who is obviously Cretan as well. We all
He
know.
comes from Hania.
Yes.
Yeah.
we all know that Crete has a bit of a reputation for being a little bit, the people very hospitable, the most hospitable possibly in Greece, but also a bit crazy, right?
Yes, we are. And we're proud of it.
Absolutely. You hear stories like, my dad sleeps with a gun under his pillow, or he's got knives hidden in his car, and all that. Is it true?
Revenge stories and things that last
So is it true now?
4 generations. Yes.
Yeah. So is it true now? So do you have a partner? Are you married? Do you have a partner? Are you married?
No.
So if your future husband comes up, does he have to take a dagger to your dad?
Yes.
And your dad's got to approve?
Yes.
And if he doesn't approve, what happens?
Maybe murder.
But see, this is the funny thing. This is the juxtaposition with Crete, because you hear stories like that, but then you hear about the amazing hospitality where, I remember there was a tourism ad from Crete not many years ago, probably about 5 or 6 years ago, about the tourist who's taking an orange off the tree, and then a Cretan comes out of the woodwork basically and sort of grabs him by the shirt, and you think
that killer look on you?
you think he's going to murder him, and he ends up taking him home and feeding him, and he ends up leaving with 4 massive bags of oranges.
Yes.
That's
But
true,
this is the
isn't
case only for tourists, not for people who would like to marry us.
But honestly, if we had a camera on Chris's face, the way you said that, you shrugged your shoulders, maybe murder, So relaxed.
These things happen every day.
Yeah, that's what happens.
But see, it's funny for me coming from Gerkira because we have a reputation for being a bit mad as well. The Cretans are on a whole other level.
It's another
different.
kind of madness. It's not violent in the Ionian Sea.
Yeah, we're just crazy. There's something in the water there.
Classic. No, it's funny because we just celebrated the Battle of Crete recently. Anyway,
We did.
A couple of days ago, and just hearing those stories of the Yadas with the pitchforks, trying to fucking stab German paratroopers coming from the sky.
Unbelievable.
Apparently, that was the time where they stopped.
Old people, yes.
Yeah, old people
All the civilians.
all got out, got their
fought.
pitchforks out.
The civilians fought in there, yes.
Yeah, unbelievable.
No, brilliant.
Well, let me ask you about this, Chrissa. I mean, obviously you're here today, you're experiencing this like everyone else. Does it either remind you of home to some degree, like a panigiri or something, or is it something completely unique?
I think it's somehow different from the Greek panigiris because of this trade.
Right.
But this is the reason why I'm here.
Yeah. So really you're happy about it.
I'm really happy about it. Yes.
Fantastic. And is there anything in particular that you're looking forward to seeing here today?
I will stay here. Yes, I will wait for buses.
So
Really
this-
happy.
So Dimitris Bas is fantastic, unbelievable artist. You know, he'll be closing off the show later on, and we're really looking forward to it, aren't we, Nick?
Yeah, we are definitely. No, great, good stuff. So look, good to see you.
Good to see you
Yeah.
too. Thank you for having
Thank
me
you.
here.
No, you're fantastic. See, you got to come on more
Thank
again.
you so much.
We'll have to bring you back on, won't we? You come and share a few Ouzo in the studio with us.
Okay.
No, definitely.
Fantastic.
All right, thank you, Chrissa. Take care. Enjoy the festivities.
Thank you so much, Chrissa.
Mate, she's got some amazing stories. So she's responsible for bringing the Greek products into Australia.
And it's such an important position to be holding in this,
Definitely.
you know, in this environment. You talk about just what we do in terms of the podcast and things like what the Greek, sponsor, the Greek Providore, does in terms of bringing things in, the best sort of products that we have.
Yeah.
This is the woman here that's really trying to fast track a lot of that stuff and really getting people knowledgeable about Greek products, isn't she?
Definitely, 100%. And even having the karoten here, how good is that? Mate,
There's some great products here,
I'm
honestly,
buying
that have
that
come from
here.
Greece.
We only have to go to Greece to get that. Now
I
we get
know.
it here and the shelves everywhere.
I know.
It's fantastic. Mate, we've got another amazing person we just saw walking through. His nickname is the unofficial mayor of Brighton,
He is,
Savas Sanchez. Hello, mate.
which is not his real last name.
I've been exposed.
He is Greek. It's not. Yeah, his last name is not Sanchez.
That's
but
his nickname.
It's his nickname.
Definitely Greek. Definitely Greek.
Tell us what your name is, what? What's your surname?
Savas Topoulides.
So not many people would know that.
No, they wouldn't. No, it's an exclusive here, guys.
Well, mate, we see you around the traps here at Brighton. Around Bay Vista, Eurobay, Mooch and Me, and whatnot. And that's the thing about these days. Everywhere that we turn, there's a familiar face, isn't there?
Yeah, how good is it? Like the Greek festival's back in Brighton, back to its spiritual home, where it was. We used to come here as a young kid and really
That's what I was going to
enjoy
say.
it.
Do you remember it back in the day?
Yeah, I do, and I know it's gone to Darling Harbour and it's a lot bigger and better facilities and so forth. But having it back here is what it's all about. And how many people have you seen already? And they're just walking around for
100%. Well, there is
Unbelievable.
something special about having it bright. What do you think that is? Is it because a lot of Greeks live here, or have the Greeks started to move out? But I don't know. What is it? Is it the spiritual home of Greeks here at Brighton?
I still think it is,
Surely
like,
it is.
Like Tom, mentioned before, some of those cafes. I mean, we were attracted to all these great cafes here, from the Eurobays, the Bay Vistas, the Neptunes, a lot of Greek-owned cafes. And it just brought everyone together, when others were staying home, we were coming out for coffees, late night, ice cream. It just brought everyone together, and it's to me, it still is a home, and I think it always will be.
And how can we forget the Euro?
The Euro.
2004.
Well, we are standing
Exactly.
where it all happened, isn't it?
All out here, no joke. It was from one end to the other, just packed.
Yeah.
Euro
Big screen.
2004.
And you were here, weren't you?
Yeah, I was
Savas?
here. I'm just picturing now again. I was here, and right, not far from me. I think it was in front of a Porto's. Like, that's gone now. Or Garlo's, I think it was.
And you still had the Aristeas shirt with flare holes in
Yeah,
it.
that's it. That was me, mate.
So tell us a bit about your background, mate.
Yeah, so obviously
where your parents
Topoulides, that's a Pondian Greek
right.
background. So my grandfather, who's called Savas as well. He was in a place called Brusa, which is now Bursa in Turkey.
Right.
So that's where they.
So is that on the Black Sea? Is it coastal?
It's
or is
more
it
it's more inland, but there is like a like a river there, water component.
And the town still exists.
Yeah, still there. Yeah, Birthday. It's quite big.
Have you been there?
No, I haven't been, unfortunately. Yeah.
Okay.
I know my dad wanted to take my grandfather back just before he passed away, but they didn't make it. They wanted to see his old home. But yeah, one day it's definitely one thing I want to do is to go back and see where they came from,
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they had to leave.
So was it your grandfather that left that house?
Yeah, it was my grandfather and my grandmother, and they had a young son there as well. And they brought him back to a place called Yanina in Epirus.
Great place.
Yeah, Epirus. Yeah.
We've got a bit of pride from our roots here.
So they went from. So did they? Do you know how they made it across?
Yeah, there was a walk. They actually walked across, and there was a bit of a story where apparently my uncle, he was a baby at the time. He was a attractive boy, blue eyes, and as they were walking, there was a man who actually was looking at him. And
You got blue eyes?
I got blue eyes too.
there you
Yeah. So it runs in the family. Feel like Tom.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for noticing.
I do. It was actually it ended up being a wealthy man who couldn't have kids. He liked the baby. Said, "Look, you're trying to take the opportunity to say, look, you're leaving. I can give you as much money as you want in gold. Give me the baby. You're still young and fertile." But my grandfather, being stubborn as he is and proud Greek, he said, "No chance," And they made their way down to Peloponnese apparently first, for a very short time before they made it up to Epirus.
Yeah.
In Yanina, and funny enough, the town stroke village right next to it, they called it Anatoli, which is because they came from Anatolia, and they named the whole town after them, and they actually got a street named after them as well, the surname as well. There's so many relatives were there.
So people from that town where your grandfather was from, did they all move together?
Yeah, a lot of them had moved together. Yeah, so it was like a big community there. So they felt like it was a home away from home. So great place.
There you go.
Yeah.
What a story.
The thing that I love about this, though, is that, okay, we've got Sava. I mean, we know Sava, obviously, but like every Greek that's here could probably tell you a similar story or something something that's going to grab you and just be like, what an amazing story. I mean, our community is just rich with stories like that, aren't we?
100%. Look, and it is, and I'm still trying to fathom. So they actually walked from this town.
Yeah, they walked.
But isn't there water? Isn't there
Yeah, there's part water. Obviously, I don't know the full story, but yeah, there's a big walk, and they all
So they went
together
to the coast and they walked from wherever they got to all the way to Peloponnese.
To mainland, yeah, they got in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then now you've ended up in Australia.
In Australia,
your dad
yeah.
ended up back
Yeah,
here.
well, funny enough, my parents actually met in the port of Piraeus in Athens.
Really?
Yeah, so my mum was coming to meet her uncle in Brisbane, who was going to, try and marry her off, I guess. And my dad was coming to see his two brothers that lived here and establish themselves. They met on the Patris, which I think many Greeks came on.
What
Just
year?
keeps coming up, doesn't it?
Yeah, Patris, and then
Remember what year?
1967 it would have been.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
And I believe the Suez Canal was closed then, so it took them a long time to get here.
Took a long way around.
Yeah, so then my dad took the opportunity to entertain my mother, and
He was on the tune for much longer.
pretty much. So when they got to Sydney and the uncle came here to pick her up, he said, "She's going nowhere. I'm just going to stay with me, and I'm going to marry this lady." And 2 months later, he married them, and that was it.
Wow.
We were in Sydney, yeah.
Amazing.
Otherwise-
You and your two sisters came along.
Yeah, two older sisters, and I'm the baby of the family.
There you go.
Unbelievable.
The big baby.
Classic.
Yeah.
But we call him the mayor of Brighton because no joke. Sabas walks up and down Brighton and he's shaking hands, he's kissing babies. He knows everyone. You know everyone
I know,
here.
mate.
Yeah, I know a few people.
Mate,
Yeah.
we've got a podcast, but we don't know half the people you know.
Now, come on, I'm sure you do.
But more importantly as well, so talking about festivals,
Yeah.
you've had the pleasure of going to the Brisbane Festival,
Yes.
Cars Park Festival. There was one in Darling Harbour.
Yes.
So we've had quite you're like
Yeah,
the Mr. Festival guy.
Fourth festival, I think. Somehow I end up at these festivals. Last week I was in Brisbane for the Magic Round NRL,
Oh, yeah.
which was a great weekend, by the way. If,
So
you
it's,
haven't
a,
done.
it's a rugby league tournament, so we've got a lot of
Different
North
kind of
American
festival.
Yeah,
listeners.
so it's a rugby league tournament where every single game on the fixture for that round is played in one stadium in Brisbane called Suncorp. There's basically just fans everywhere wearing jerseys. Really a lot of fun. But I was lucky enough that the Greek festival in Brisbane was on, and it's a massive event. I was actually amazed that it's so big. I couldn't believe it. Because I think of Melbourne, big Greek population. Think of Sydney. But Brisbane was so well organised, huge event, so much fun. I'm glad I went there.
It is surprising, because I always think Melbourne usually number one, Sydney two, Adelaide's always up there.
Yeah.
There's a big thing in Darwin. We never really talk about Brisbane. But you reckon it was a...
Yeah, they've got the Greek club up there, which is an actual club next to the church.
Yep.
And it's a popular venue for reception lounges, weddings and that stuff as well. But they've been doing it for a long time. I think Channel 9 get behind them and so forth, which is one of the major channels in Australia. And the just setup is like great. It's like a lot of non-Greeks go to it. It's like the person that took us to it is an Aussie guy. He's like, hey guys, you got to come to this Greek festival. I go, okay.
Sure.
I go, I've been to many, but and I was like, this is fantastic.
So you're really impressed with it?
I was, yeah. Like the amount of food, bars, stands, the stages, it was really good.
It's really funny that we talk about the obvious ones that you've just spoken about, Nick, and like Melbourne, Sydney. You expect Greek festivals to sort of pop up in those places, but then Darwin, like you mentioned, but then Townsville has a massive Greek festival apparently, the northern part of Queensland.
Yeah, definitely.
There are Greeks everywhere and in numbers. Like enough to justify more festivals.
I think sometimes if it's a smaller community, they're more proud and more tight, and they're looking forward to these events. So
that's a good point.
They put it out. They put out a good event. And actually, I just remember now when I was in Hawaii. Funny enough, back in 2017 maybe, put the channel on, and what do I see? Greek Festival of Hawaii's on. Okay, you got to be kidding me. I popped into that as well.
Jeez, we get around.
It was a smaller event, but it was very good. It was good.
Yeah. But that's the thing. I think because it's such a great culture, they're not all Greeks. Like here, I'd say they're 60% Greek, maybe 70%.
Probably.
There's a lot of non-Greeks that are walking. So in Brisbane, all the Anglo-Australians would have enjoyed our culture, the food, the music, all that sort of stuff.
They do. They do like rides as well. So like a Luna Park sort of thing. So that's how they get a big crowd in. They've got all the stands. People just love the food. And a lot of the non-Greeks look forward to coming to enjoy all the lovely food there. And our hospitality. No,
that's the main thing, though, isn't it? At these things, the food. I mean, there are great stalls here. Take nothing away from that, but. You're coming up to a Greek festival because you can smell. There's the smoke, the smoke and the smell. There's a meal happening somewhere. There's a stand here dedicated to halloumi. There's a stand dedicated to lupomades. I'm pretty sure there's lamb somewhere up here.
There's an octopus up here. There's lamb on the spit down the other end.
There you go.
There's rides down the other end as well. I don't know if you ventured behind the stage there.
Yeah, I haven't been down yet, but I've seen it. I might jump on a ride.
We'll come with you.
Might be overweight.
Mate, the way this guy look, he'll carry the ride. You're going to spin her on your finger, mate. Good stuff, Savas. Look, great to have you on, mate. Finally we got you on.
Great to be on.
So there is a connection with me and Savas, I'm sure you're aware. We play OzTag together.
Well,
yes, sure do.
We can see that right now.
Well, we had training this morning.
Yep.
We had training.
So that's why I'm a bit sore. But look,
we'll be fine.
Great coming on, mate.
Thanks so much,
So
guys.
I was going to ask you one line. So do you rate this compared to all the ones that you've been to?
You know what? I really like it. It's got a great feel, great atmosphere already. The weather helps, having a beautiful sunny day, and it
really does.
Yeah, and people just walking up and down. There's been so many people already. I think I think they can. Hopefully, they can bring it back next year again.
Yeah,
it's really good atmosphere. Come down.
Next time. Awesome. Next year we'll be back.
Thanks, guys.
Good stuff, mate. Savas, you're a legend, mate.
Thanks, guys.
Mate.
We're going to go and have a beer after. Okay,
mate. Done. Cheers. Enjoy the show. See you guys.
Fantastic.
Mate, there you go.
The people you see and meet, huh?
Exactly. So we've got a few people out there. Where was a couple of episodes ago, you mentioned about a tipro.
Yes.
Some guy you found and sent it to you.
Yes, we did.
And he actually came up and said, hey, g'day guys, my name is Ari. I was the one that sent you the tipro.
That's right.
So we didn't know who this guy was, who he looked like. He just sent you some tipro.
That's right.
And he just popped up.
We were sitting here setting up, and this guy just came up and said, I'm Ari. And I'm like, he's the guy that's Ipuro. Fantastic.
Exactly. And I think his ancestors made it from Thessaly.
Well, I think he said his mum made it. If we're not, he's going to tell us now. He's just about to sit down. Welcome, Ari.
Thank you very much for having me, and good to finally meet you guys.
Yeah, mate, definitely. And
mate, it was fantastic.
No worries, mate. I hope you guys do enjoy it, especially after last episode with mate.
Well, the original plan was to have it as the palate cleanser during that episode, but the problem was we looked at all the bottles and thought, this is going to be dangerous.
Mate, it sure is. It's verified rocket fuel, let me tell you. But it's good rocket fuel. So
tell us a little bit about it now that we've got you here. I mean, you from trying to remember your email, it was actually made in Thessaly, was it?
Yep.
Your mum
Yep.
actually makes it.
Yeah. So my mum lives in Greece. She's been there last close to 30 years.
Yeah.
And she obviously, as Greek villagers do, they have umbelia and whatnot. So she's got a few stremata there, and she started wines and this, that, the other. Obviously, non-commercial. So within all the villages, and she made a bit of a name for herself from all around the Horia. So obviously, the next step after the wines is obviously Tsipro. So then. There, she's got an apotheke there where it's got the big distillery, and a few times I've said to her, Mum, when I've gone back, Mum, well, babe, why don't you take this further? You know what I mean? Like, everyone's coming from all over the place, and unfortunately, during the bureaucratic red tape and whatnot, you got to pay him, you got to pay there. So
of course,
to get a license. Yeah. So long story short, she actually came out as a surprise for my 50th in December for my 50th birthday, and as Greeks do when they come over. Big bottle of Tsipro, as much as you can, as much as you can get through customs.
And how did she bring it?
What's that?
What type of bottle did it come in?
Mate, it came in a massive 2-litre glass bottle, which she because she also supplies wines for a few cafeteria and a very good traditional restaurant around the area. So she's got a few glass bottles which is especially made for them.
Yeah.
So she brought it over.
So I mean, she's well into it then. Obviously, if she's supplying restaurants and whatnot, she's doing this semi-seriously, right?
Mate, she's doing all right.
Yeah,
she's doing all right.
What's your mum's name?
Her name is Izmini.
Izmini,
yeah.
Yes, with Izmini. So can you give us any tips of why it's so good? Does she put anything in like plums, or does she use any?
No, mate. It's all natural. So from what she tells me, there's no chemicals or anything as such. It's all from Staphylia.
The white grape, the green.
Mate, no. So it all depends on what they've got, on what she produces for that year.
Mm-hmm.
More often than not, it's muscat. So
wow.
So more often than not, obviously because there's an overflow of the amount of grapes and Staphylia she makes. Me personally, it goes down well.
How
but
good is your mum? She's the best.
After about 3 or 4,
I've got to ask, like, when you go over there,
Yep.
do you ever just find yourself in that room, like, just sampling everything, and you come out with a headache, or you come out legless? Because I'm just thinking, if he and I were over there, every afternoon you'd be sitting there drinking.
Mate, it's dangerous. Like when I'm in the Horio or whatever, and I go past and I say, she asks me to, there's someone coming, can you give him a litre or whatever? No worries. And they come and they always say, do you mind if I taste a bit? Yeah, no worries. And then I'll have some too. And then two or three later, I'm half smashed. How much am I supposed to charge, Mum? Like, Mum, how much am I supposed to charge? So,
fantastic. No, they don't have that 30ml shot glass that we have here.
In
Australia, it's like a couple of second pour. If they really like you, give an extra 4-second, 5-second pour.
Yeah.
It's free pour. Everything's free pour over there, isn't it?
100%. And
that's why you got to tell them stories. That's what I worked out. So if you go to a bar and you talk to the barman, guess what, Philip or Selena, they start pouring and they don't stop.
Mate, and
that's the trick.
And especially, as you guys obviously know, when you say you're from Australia, then it becomes, like
they
a
move
half.
the thumb away. No.
Mate, thumb away, and then the mezedas come out and
That's
whatnot,
it.
and then 2 or 3 in the morning you're still there.
Yeah.
So no, it's good.
Mate, I had it too. They scream out in the kitchen, Thanasi, the Badabadin of Stolia, Feritis Patates. They bring out fries and everything. I love it. It's the best. So what part of Greece? So we know your mum's from Thessaly. Is she born there, or?
Yep. So both mum and dad were born pretty much in the same prefecture, in Karditsa, in Thessalia. So right in the middle of, basically right in the middle of Greece.
The real Greece, as we say.
Yeah, the heart of Greece.
As they say as well. So we're part of the Agrafar Mountains.
Mm-hmm.
So very green, very lush. My dad came in '64. Mum came in '71. Met here.
Yep.
Things didn't eventuate after I was born. She ended up leaving back in 1992. Yep. The intention was obviously, as they did back then, come here, build a life, make money, go back to
Go
Greece.
back.
My dad got settled here.
Yep.
So yeah, she went back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they get here on the Patrice? How did they get here?
Mate, he came here on the Patrice. She came first class, mate, on the plane.
Wow. See,
Yeah,
my
so-
mum was the same.
yeah.
Yeah, my papu came on a plane as well.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah. Mum came on a plane and they're all women.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a Qantas plane.
They're
in,
all proxies.
1962. Yeah, all women.
All women.
Yeah.
Yeah. She told the story. She came here, obviously knew no one, and a bit of a funny story. She was given a piece of paper from a lady in Greece. Said, "Oh, I've got a brother that lives in Sydney. If you're ever there," and my mum goes, "Yeah, whatever." No worries. Threw it away when she
Yep.
got here. After they got married and whatnot, and they found out the lady was my dad's sister. It was my Thea.
Wow.
So yeah.
you go.
So it was one of those things was meant to be. here I am today.
Wow, there you go. So have you gone back to go? When was the last time you were there? Visit
Mate, I
your
was
mum?
there in 2022. So we were supposed to go in 2020 with the kids.
Yep.
COVID broke out.
Yep.
So
Is this your kid running behind us?
No, that's
was one.
that's him there, mate. He's
Who
more
was the
ego.
little girl that came past? Is that your daughter?
No, that was a friend of ours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He was more pumped. He goes, "Dad, the boy said 1:45. It's come on, we've got to go." I go,
So
"Just
he's
relax."
the organizer in the family.
100%.
You're a champ, mate.
100%.
Good looking kid
Love
too.
it.
Good looking
Yeah.
rooster. Hey,
Bravo.
bloody hell. No, good stuff, mate. Are you enjoying the festival? What do you think?
Mate, it's
You glad it's back at Brighton?
mate, it's good. It's good to see all the Greeks come out in force. It's good to see all of us supporting each other. They're all different businesses and whatnot. It's good to see. It's good to see.
Mate, it's a community that's thriving.
It really
like
is.
You
isn't
think
it?
every generation they drop off. I feel like it's getting the opposite because there's a lot of young kids here. Young kids coming through, and look, good to have you here, mate.
Thanks for having us, boys.
Tom hasn't shared the tipper with me yet, but we're going to have to get it on.
We haven't opened it yet. It's
Okay.
sitting there. We're ready to go with it. It was just it nearly happened on that Ouzo
But then you went
episode.
to Greece as well.
Exactly, which
Came
we'll talk
back.
about in a sec. But I mean,
This is our
yeah,
first episode since.
it is.
Mate, let me tell you, boys, the last episode, you guys had me in stitches, and I'm thinking, this is the way that podcasts and Ouzo and Cipro should go down, where it just deteriorates into bedlam. Mate, I was dying. It was good.
Let me ask you something about that then. Where did you actually listen to it? Were you in the car?
In
or
the car, yeah. Because unfortunately with kids, they're always in the back. So my peaceful time is driving to and from work.
Yeah.
So
So you couldn't pour yourself. That's how we envisioned it. It's like, someone will, sort of get a shot glass out, pour yourself an Ouzo and listen to the episode. Most people are either listening to it in the gym or on the way to work.
Yeah.
And just wishing that they could drink.
Mate, it's a lot safer that way, let me tell you.
I'm sure it is.
It is. So do you think we're spot on with the taste of Ouzo, our bottles, our view?
Mate,
So
let me tell you, it's very descriptive, and man, it was just, I could see it was getting.
It was getting more descriptive as we went on.
Mate, yeah, I know. It was blowing my mind. You guys were going deep.
Well, it always happens. We end up becoming, we think we're philosophers. The more we drink and we're trying to solve the world's problems, but I don't know. I think we got close to solving that one, which is a better Ouzo. We got close.
Especially those ones that there was consensus about, like the 35N, the Lazaris, obviously your Barbayanis and all
Mini,
that sort of thing,
yeah.
your Minis. I mean, they're all really good, really fucking good drops, aren't they?
They are, definitely. Look, that mini one, that got me. I was surprised. When
Yeah.
you had the food with it, it went down really good. But look, we're glad you enjoyed it. Fantastic. And I'm watching you got your Man United shirt on. They had a great win.
Mate, it's
FA champions, beating Man City.
It's about time that I can actually wear it without being ridiculed in public. Jeez, it's been a long time since drinks.
So how does it feel we've stopped Man City winning the treble?
Mate, well, this year was double, so it's a bit of a kick in the guts for them to finally to show them that Manchester is red.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? So,
Love it, love a little dig.
Good stuff. Well done, mate. Well, listen, great to meet you face to face, and thanks for coming up. You just got
Mate.
up, shook hands, and say, "Oh,
Yeah.
Mari, I sent you the bottle, mate." How good's that? How
Mate,
good's
like
that for a
Fantastic.
community?
It is.
mate, like I said, that was my son walking. Goes, Dad, there's that talk, and apparently because I gave you guys a bottle of Tipro, we're friends. He goes, "They're your friends." I go, "Oh,
We're
Christ."
family now,
Yeah.
mate. What are you talking about? This is family now.
Oh, awesome.
Oh dear. Ari, thank you very
No
much,
worries.
mate.
Thank you very
mate,
much,
we'll
boys.
stay in touch, obviously.
100%.
Good on you, mate.
Ari,
Enjoy your
pleasure,
day.
mate.
Bye.
What a champion. I
Mate.
like guys like that. He's a real Greek. He heard the episode, loved the episode. Because I'm going to send these boys a bottle of Tiparo, who knows we drink it, and you just come up, shook it, like we know it.
Yep. That's
It's like a mate.
That's the way this community works, and that's the thing that I mean, we've spoken about it so many times before. You know, Brighton is such a vibrant, or Brighton Le Sands rather, as opposed to the Brighton in the UK. You know, Brighton is such an important Greek community here, and you just walk around, and you know, even us just sitting here in place, you see so many people that are just familiar faces and people that you want to sit down and have a drink with.
Look at this good-looking rooster.
Well, this is your young bloke, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
the oldest
right.
one.
I was going to say it's a good-looking crowd, and as my son pops up.
Your kids have popped up. My kids have popped up a couple of times here.
Yeah.
We've had Ari pop up
Mate,
with his
see,
son.
More importantly, we haven't really discussed Greece. Your trip to Greece.
Well, we haven't discussed anything at all.
No,
This is our first episode back.
Definitely. So tell us, mate, how was your Greece trip? How was Easter in Corfu?
Yeah, so
this
just
time around, any different?
It was very different, actually. So, as you say, I had Easter, just spent a month over in Corfu, actually. Easter over there. We also used the opportunity to baptise the little one. So, mate, fair dinkum. There were so many people on the island this time around. It was crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, so more people. What was Chrysler saying? She goes, 300,000 Australians went over last year.
I dare say that it'll be even higher this year, honestly, because I mean the amount of people that I saw just on the island and just at the airport on the way to other places, it was mental. I think we said that last year as well, that it just seems to be increasing. Tourism it feels like it's doubling every year somehow.
So I wonder what that is. Must be doing something right. People wanting to go back. Why is it more than ever?
I think it sells itself, doesn't it? I mean, the Greek government's doing a pretty good job of actually marketing tourism now, I think. We've got some really nice campaigns. You've got all of these people here in Australia who want to go back home, but also see other parts of Greece as well. Just Holy Saturday in Corfu, where we're in the main square. We've spoken before about the botides, chucking those massive pots out the window. I mean, this was, I was sitting somewhere in the middle there, and the whole time that we were, that I was there, I was hearing people speaking different languages, and then there were people from other parts of Greece around me.
Yeah.
This is in the main
It's a
square.
world event. It's such a
Definitely.
Beautiful thing to see. But I think we talked about it in one of our episodes, and I always used to ask you, does anyone get injured? Does anyone get hurt?
Well, we got a very clear answer to that question this time around.
Because I've never seen anyone get hurt, but this time round...
We did see someone get hurt this time around, and I'm not going to lie, I watched this video on repeat probably about 50 times. Shouldn't have laughed, but mate, I did. And there's a reason why, though, because this was at the Dimarchio.
Yeah, the main square?
Well, not the main square, behind, basically. So this is the Platea Dimarchio, which is where, obviously, it is what it says, the Dimarchio's there. And you had all of the bigwigs of the island, the mayors and all those blokes sort of standing at the balcony, ready to throw the pots over the side. And what happened was, as you've seen previously, people sort of go back, they leave at least 5 or 6 meters, so, they don't get injured.
Yep.
What happened this year? Someone was filming on their phone, and you just saw these two girls walk into the area that they'd sort of vacated, ready to start throwing stuff.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, they just timed it. It almost looked like they timed it perfectly. Either they timed it perfectly or the guy throwing the pot. He throws the pot right on this girl's head. And I'm not talking a little one. This was massive. Like, this is like a 20-litre pot, right? It smashed all over her head. And she needed stitches. She actually went to hospital.
I was going to say, she must have a hard head, because the way that pot shattered over her head... And did you tell me that they got warned? Don't walk that way.
You can see that someone had yelled out. I think you can actually hear someone saying, "Hey, don't go there." And she sort of gives this nonchalant wave, as if to say, "I don't care." Yeah. And a split second later, she's copped it on the head.
Mate, that is one of the funniest sights. But she got straight up, I think.
She did get up, but yeah, she did need to go to hospital apparently and get some stitches. Yeah, as you would. I mean, a giant clay pot just smashed on your head.
And it smashed in like, half a dozen pieces. It was a good smash.
It was. I mean,
And it didn't smash because it hit the ground. It smashed because it hit her head.
Well, George Paxanos would have plenty to say about the head impact there. Let me tell you,
Mate, it's concussion for that one. 15 minutes in the bin.
100%.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Grade 2. That one.
Yeah, no, it is. It's awesome, mate. That's great. So what else? And you had your christening as well.
We did. We had a christening over there, which is a whole different affair. It's not as I tell you, it's not as organised over there. Over here, there's very clear lines where you don't cross. In the church and whatnot. There were people up on the top there. I mean, we've done it before. I shouldn't be surprised by this, but the priest even forgot sort of parts that he needed to say, and he called back. He was like, he goes, come back. He goes, I forgot to do this thing.
The priest forgot to say things.
He forgot to say something or do something.
Was he an old guy or a young guy?
No. This is the local. This is our local priest at Laconess. Which is where we, we
Is
stay.
he a young dude?
Probably in his what is he? In his 60s or so.
Oh, okay.
He's not old. He's young.
Bloody hell.
Let's call him young.
I forgot.
Papa Mikey, good old Papa Mikey.
Papa Mikey, mate. He in it then, mate. Check us
Mate,
nice.
it was absolutely classic, fair income. I mean, it's one of those things that we're just standing there, absolutely pissing ourselves laughing, thinking this is Greece.
We got another guest we just saw walk past. My mum and my auntie just walked past. Milavo Thea.
Who have we got here?
Thea, πες το όνομά σου εδώ. Ποιος είσαι?
Πώς είμαι, στα ελληνικά ή στα εγγλέζικα?
English, if you
English.
can.
Elizabeth Velas.
Welcome.
This is my auntie. My auntie and mum just walked past.
So we've got family on the podcast now.
Yes,
How good's this?
We do. Oh, and here is
Here's John.
Listen to that is stuff.
Here's John. It's a family affair here today.
It is. So Thea, tell us, what do you think of the festival? Do you like it? Enjoying
Beautiful, I
it?
like it, I enjoy it.
Yeah?
There's a lot of people, it reminds me of Greece.
Yeah.
I really love it. Bad luck I can't dance because I just lost my husband. Otherwise I'll be on the dance floor.
Okay. Thea, my auntie is the one that leads the dances.
She's
Every
that
year.
person.
Every year. She leads all the dances
I lead
and
all
she's
the
just
dances.
full of life, full of energy. And you're over 60, Toto.
69
69.
in a month.
And she's still going hard.
It's okay, I hope I live until 100.
You will, Thea. So Thea, tell us a bit more about it. Tell us, what part of Greece are you from? I know where you're from.
From
but
Ήπειρος.
what part of Epirus?
Η Ιγουμενίτσα, παραπόταμος Ιγουμενίτσας.
Where were you born?
Born in Parapótamos.
Parapótamos.
No Labanitsa.
Ah.
No, your mama and Theo. No,
Okay.
my parents came from Labanitsa to Parapótamos.
Yeah.
And they had ready-made houses.
Yeah.
So they took whoever wants this house, that
Yeah,
house.
but they all fled, didn't they?
Yes.
After World War II finished,
Yes,
they all fled.
They went to the mountains, then they come down again.
Yeah. Oh, wow. And how did you get to Australia?
To Australia, my darling husband, God bless his soul,
Yeah.
he came from Australia for a holiday to
Yeah.
see his parents. We're from the same village.
Yeah.
So he met me at the dance after Easter, 3 days dance.
So he met you
on the
in
village,
Greece,
yes.
in the village
He
dance.
met me at the dance and he said, he come and hold me, said I want that girl.
And that's
We
all
fell
it
in
was.
love and I followed him in Australia. As you know, he was only one when I came here.
I was 1 year old.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Unbelievable. She's very proud of you, mate.
Yes, of
You can
course.
see
I
it.
grew up together. I stayed with
She
them for
raised
4
you.
years.
Really?
Yep.
Yes,
Is
for
that
4
right?
years.
Well, Mum
yes.
would work, but I
Yes.
remember at your house,
Yes.
me and my cousin John.
Yep.
Yes. John born when he was 2
I
years.
was 2, yeah. She
And
would
they
write.
grew up,
She'd
yeah.
have this. I don't know. We must have been mischievous, but she
Yeah.
had this phone number near the phone. She'd just say, "If you guys misbehave, I'm going to ring up the police." And
Yes.
she had this random
That's
phone
all I
number.
knew.
Not
The police.
Babula. Not
Babula. I say that to my grandson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Savas. He's 3.
Yeah.
I said to him, if you don't go to bed, I'm going to call babulas.
So we never had babula. We had the cops.
That's
Yeah.
what we had there in Greece. They
Babula.
Call, if you not behave, we call babulas.
Yeah. You know who the
So we call
babula?
it in Australia.
And you know who the babula is, Donna?
Yes, yes.
It's the tax man. The
Taxman.
The Turkish, the Ottoman.
Yeah,
It is,
originally,
it is.
yeah.
Yes, you're right. In Turkish, yes.
The
but,
Ottoman would come and say, "If you don't give us taxes, we'll take your child."
but that's true. Yeah, that's true.
And that's why
Yeah.
our parents and grandma would threaten us. The babula's going to
Yeah.
take you. Ooh, there you go.
Love it.
Anyway, boys, I better
Bravo,
get
Thea.
out.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thanks
the
for-
Nasa kala, Thea.
hospitality.
No
Good luck.
worries. Thank you, Thea.
Nasa
Enjoy,
kala.
it's beautiful.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Again, the people you meet, mate.
Yeah, she's one of my favourites.
You can see that. And she looks bloody proud of you, let me tell you.
You reckon?
100%.
Yeah, this is all my clan.
So Nick's family is all at the front here. How good is this?
Yeah,
we've got mum, we've got aunties, we've got all sorts happening here, don't we?
Yeah, so look, it's the music sort of died off now. So we've got all these amazing dancers as well coming on. So we've got the Cypriot Community New South Wales Dance Group. Oh, here we go. Here comes Nick Porter.
How are you, mate?
The Kalimnian Association group as well.
We've found our next guest.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be a festival
if we didn't have this bloke.
This bloke come on.
How good is this?
Joy just turns up.
It really would not be a festival unless we had the great Nick Bordeniotis with us. Nick, welcome to Ouzo Talk
Thank
again.
you, Tom. Thank you, Nick, for having me again.
And how's the music?
It's only been about what? Oh, the music's so loud.
Mate,
I need
you.
these
It's
earphones.
that music where you sort of stride
What's it
in.
been? A year and a half, nearly 2 years since I was. Remember the barbecue?
Was it a year?
St.
It's been a year
George.
and a half,
That's where
2
we
years.
did the concept. It was the end of 2022.
Yes.
It was the Rose Bay episode.
The Rose
It
Bay
was.
barbecue.
Well, we
It
actually
was.
trialled what we're doing today.
Absolutely. And here we are again with Nick B.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
it.
Exactly.
Somehow I just walked past and I'm on the radio.
And you're on again, mate. So tell us, mate, what have you been up to the last year?
It's
Well,
been busy for you.
I
hasn't it?
very busy.
haven't caught up with you guys to actually tell you. I have spoken to you about it, but Greece, it was amazing.
Amazing.
And that was about
So just give
6
us a
months
recap.
ago.
Just a recap of what you were doing.
So basically, I've got the Evzons collection
Yes.
by Nick Bordeniotis. It's a photo exhibition of the Evzonists. We've taken it around Australia. Then I took it to Greece in 2022. No, 2023. 2022. I took it to Greece 2023. And at the end of 2023, I donated the whole Athens exhibition to the presidency of Greece. Now it's permanently at the palace, and it's actually in the garrison on display. And late, like in December last year, they reconstructed my whole exhibition that was at the Athens War Museum. Spent an hour with the president donating it to her with all the military personnel.
Fantastic. What did you talk about with the president?
Well,
Give us some
hang on,
insights.
before take a photo. Thank you.
Mate,
We've
you're
got
a
all our
popular
fans.
man.
You guys are getting a lot of. I hope you guys done your hair properly today and makeup.
No,
You're
I
getting
can't.
a lot of photos happening here.
I came straight from a kid's football game.
What did I speak about with the president? The love for Greece we have here in Australia. The love of, and they did say that the Australian Greeks are the most, love Greece the most out of anybody around the world.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, she did say
Huge
that,
rap.
and she recognised that, and possibly she'll be coming here at the end of the year.
Yeah, we did.
Knowing
do
that.
Yeah.
I mean, what a huge rap that is, though. Honestly, I mean, you
Greek
think
Australians have the most passion for Greece.
And what do you think that is? Is that because we're so far away?
So far away, where I think that distance is a factor. In America or around Europe, you just hop on a plane on a weekend and you go to Greece.
True.
Here, we actually mentally have to think about it and plan it and do it nicely. Where it's just not like, let's just go to Greece for the weekend. Let's just go to Santorini and have a couple's weekend. It doesn't work like that here in Australia.
Yeah. I actually asked an older gentleman at a cafe I was at, I go, what do you think it is we're so patriotic here in Sydney and Australia and Melbourne? And he goes, because when they left Greece in the 50s and 60s, that's all they knew. And they kept that tradition of the 50s and 60s. That's why...
Yeah, that's true.
And Greece had modernised over the years. Greece had modernised and moved forward, but the Greeks that left in the 50s and 60s hung on to that. And now that's why we see all the traditional stuff and it's still here.
I think it's true.
It's true. Like when I sat with in the commander's office there, and we got talking about it in the room from the other side. A military guy that has been to Australia, in Greek he was going, I second that. The Greeks there, they just love us. And she just looked, and I go, I know. I said, you've got to come one day and experience it. So I think she's coming. End of the year.
So I've got to say, I was there the day that the general actually said to actually bring the exhibition to Athens. What an amazing moment that was, and to be there, for something that was that important.
1821 exhibition at the Sydney Town Hall. It was a Saturday afternoon,
Yes.
Tom and I. Where were you, Nick? You were somewhere. You were busy that day, and
He did have something on that day.
Yeah, no, you had something on because you were coming, and we set up all the gear. We went there. It was straight around COVID area. Half the exhibition wasn't there because logistically they couldn't get it out of customs because there wasn't enough customs people.
Yeah.
It was, and I gifted him that book, and he just saw it, and the eyes lit up, didn't they, Tom? It was a great afternoon. I remember that vividly. Yeah, it was very nice.
Wow. So what next?
Planning to go to America. At the beginning of this year, we went to Brisbane, took the exhibition up to Brisbane. That was my hometown.
How many photos again are we talking about?
The 29 photos.
29.
Here in the Australian exhibition is 29. The Greece exhibition was 33. And they've split it up now. Majority of it now is in the garrison, like I said, so the public can see, not in the palace where it's kind of tucked away. Went to Brisbane. Brisbane actually is my hometown. That's where I grew up, and it was one of those amazing. Like it was like taking it back home. It was really good exhibition. The only other place now is Perth.
Yeah, wow.
I went to Perth a couple of weeks ago with the George Kambosos fight.
Yeah.
Photographed that. George is a true warrior. He did us all proud. So whilst I was there, they asked me to bring the exhibition over. I said, I will. So Perth is one of the last destinations here in Australia that I'll be going to.
Are there many Greeks in Perth? Because you don't really
Yeah, there
hear
are a
much
few
about
Greeks. There's about 5 or 6 churches. There's a few Greeks. There's actually, they hunger for Greek stuff in Perth, believe it or not. It's one of those things, so yeah. No, but I'm looking at this today. It's a great turnout. You guys have got a good position here.
It's not bad, is it?
You're shaking hands more than anything. A lot of people are coming in and saying hello. To me, this is love. Like, I love what you guys are doing, and the community is showing the love.
Well, the feeling's mutual, mate. The feeling is mutual, but, and again, this is what we spoke about with Nia. Everything that we do, whether it's the guys who are organising the festival, you with your photography, us with a podcast, these other people with stalls, we're all trying to do the same thing, aren't we?
This is the bottom line. One person can't do it all. It's a team effort.
That's it.
And it's just not one person, it's we. And when you talk we, you talk as a collective. And when you talk as a collective, you talk as a community. And that's what brings us all together. And that's what the
100%.
Greeks show, that love. Us Greeks, we got that something inside us that we know our heritage, we know where we came from, and we know exactly what we're feeling. And that's why we are what we are. And that's why we come together.
Well said.
True. But look, it does take a while. I think most of our guests have said, when they're born in a foreign country, they sort of shy away from the Greek culture. It only sort of kicks in your late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
But then again, looking at the crowd, we've got a lot of young kids out here.
There's a lot.
They've all got their Greek gear on. They're not. Maybe it's a generation thing now. It's 2024. It's more acceptable.
Well, it's also trendy. It's not just that people have sort of come to terms with their heritage and are proud of it in their own way. It's not like how our parents used to be, like, or parents and grandparents are like, you should be proud to be Greek. That's not the way to do it.
So it's the culture of our...
It's just the culture. It comes through naturally now, I think.
Exactly. While you guys are talking, I'm just sitting here and I'm just going back at the crowd. They're really soaking up the atmosphere today. It's just not Greeks here today too. There's mixed diverse, and it's the Greek music. It's all happening. The only thing is not enough. There's not enough smoke with the souvlakia. There's not enough of it. We need more. We need the smoke machine out here today, boys.
I think because it's lengthways as well.
I think so.
Yeah.
We need that smoke machine here. We need to. We got to have sweat in our eyes, kind of thing. That's a true panigiri.
It's not a panigiri unless there's tikna in your shirt.
You've got to be rubbing your eyes and stuff on the smoke.
I know.
But I think we've got to have it right in the middle. Because we've got food on one end, you've got stage on the other. The geography is it's lengthways.
Maybe we should try to enter the Guinness Book of Records for the longest souvlaki barbecue.
Yeah, maybe.
Start on one end, pick up your souvlaki at the end, mate.
Yeah, that could be something. Something.
Right down the middle of this street.
Yeah, no, definitely. No.
More importantly, though, when are the Evzones coming back? Do we know anything? When's your next photo op? He can't say. He knows something.
I can't say.
He
Look,
can't say. You always know that look.
there is a lot in the works, possibly this year. If it works out, it's going to be an Australian tour, but logistically we have to work things out. We should know in the next couple of weeks what's happening, and if they do, you guys will
Fantastic.
definitely. But watch this space you're sitting on.
There's a little clue.
That's
We don't know
a big
anything.
clue. This space we're sitting on. Watch this space here.
Very exciting.
But I can't say much because I don't like talking about
we know.
things that you're not gonna.
Well,
if it
they're in the
doesn't
planning.
happen,
They might not even.
very, very close to finishing and finalising it, if it does go through. So yeah. Do you know the Evzonas are the second most photographed image in Greece apart from the Parthenon?
Is that right?
The second most photographed thing in Greece.
How much have you contributed to that, you reckon?
A little bit.
Is it more than Santorini?
More than Santorini. Look it up.
Wow.
It is,
Yeah,
yeah, because
Evzon.
there's just something.
I can see why.
Well, the changing of the guard, by itself. I mean, there's heaps of people, particularly on a Sunday morning when they do the official one there.
The crowds. And what gets me that changing the guard, it can be, what, how many weeks have we got? 52 weeks in the year? I'd say about 52 weeks in the year, they will have a full crowd there on a Sunday.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's winter, it doesn't matter if it's whatever. They have a crowd. It's just insane. It's just people from all over Greece. It's just people, okay, predominantly from April going right down to September, October. It's obviously tourists, but when the tourists aren't there, it's still full. They're still lining the streets.
Yeah.
definitely.
Well, we were just there, and we were there on a Thursday afternoon, right? And it was massive. There were so many people there taking photos.
On
ready
a
to
Thursday
see it.
afternoon.
Yeah.
I know.
It's not a funnier sight when you're at Sindogma and you see a tourist try and run to the epitaphium right at the other end. And they scream out. What do they say? They say something in Greek.
What do they say?
Do you know
Were you
what
guys
they
there
say?
for Easter?
I was there for
Almost.
Easter. I was in Corfu.
Did you
though.
see? In Athens, they got 5 epitaphios or something. They all come together in the middle
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I was there for that for my Greek Odyssey with Peter Menez.
Yeah, right.
Peter's
Fantastic.
actually finishing the series up. Did you see? He's got his. I think it's the last series that he's doing, the 6th.
Yeah, it's going to be on what, Channel 7.
Yeah, you're gonna have to have Peter on to have a wrap up of his whole thing.
We
For
might
sure.
have to, but I hear he's in Greece. He might be working on something else.
He'll start something else.
He doesn't stop, does he?
No.
No, good stuff.
When you're on a roll and he's doing so much, why would you stop?
The thing, I think he just loves it. He's
Exactly.
passionate. He loves what he's doing. He's happy about it.
Very successful
So,
show, and I
yeah.
take my hat off to Peter. It was 2017. We all went over for the very first show in April. It was Easter, and he had a dream. That guy had a big dream, and look what happened. He's travelled the whole of Greece on the boat. It's if you speak to anybody, like obviously some of my photos are from my Greek Odyssey. That time we were there with the Evzonas, and exhibition, and people see it in my book and all that, and they bring up my Greek Odyssey, and there's not one person I don't know who hasn't come across or seen something of my Greek Odyssey.
Yeah.
Everybody's seen it, and it's one of those shows that, something special. So yeah.
Well, even the Greeks in Greece, they know about the show. They watch it over there.
What's it called? It's not called my Greek Odyssey.
It's not called My Greek Odyssey. It's
Echo. or
Can't
something.
remember.
I think he had it on Qatar Airways as well as part of the in-flight entertainment.
It's part of
You
in-flight.
He's in
go.
London.
When you're in that hotel room, 2 o'clock in the morning, you can't sleep. You turn on the TV and there's
see
my Greek
Peter's
Odyssey
head.
on the History Channel, Nat Geo
And
Channel.
his
There it is.
Speedos with his hairy chest.
That's it.
Yeah,
That is a
they'll
sight.
make you go to sleep in 2 seconds, won't it?
That is a sight. That's why everyone tunes in.
We love you,
Yeah.
Peter.
You want to see
Peter,
you
we
in
love
your
you.
Speedos.
You've done so well.
He has. He's
No,
done a great
he's
thing for
done.
the
He's done
community.
amazing. Yeah,
All right, Pete,
more
we
than
want you
anybody.
on.
And you know what? He should be getting more accolades about it, but we'll see what we can do.
Yeah,
he's
no,
really.
100%.
We've got to get him on. I think that's another one we should get on this year.
Definitely.
And Alex too. He's producer, cameraman.
Yeah, good job.
Behind every great man, there's a great woman. But I don't know. There's Alex behind him. Has done so well too. Alex has that vision too. It's a team
stuff.
effort, like we just said. Everything's a team in life. Not the singer that's singing on that stage, and there's 100,000 people. There was a team that got that singer on stage. That's what
100%.
life is. It's just not one person.
Yeah,
So yeah.
definitely.
Well, Bordo, thanks very much again, mate. This is it's fantastic to have you on the show again.
You know, I might sit here because everybody's waving at me here. You know, I feel like a celebrity.
You're like an agalma, mate.
But the honest truth is, guys, they're not waving at me. They're waving at you.
that's a dirty, rotten lie.
You never know, mate. You never know. The man of the people, Nick Bordo. Thank you, mate.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely afternoon, and once again, keep up the great work you guys are doing.
Likewise,
like I mentioned, like my Greek Odyssey, I mentioned the Ouzo Talk, and they all say those guys do a fantastic job, and it's just
it's great
awesome.
to hear.
Oh, it's good to hear.
Great
Well, that's what keeps us going, isn't it?
It is.
That's the only reason you're doing it, because people are saying it's not it's about that whole
we love doing
pilotimo.
Yeah.
It's
That's
that
it.
whole you're holding something, and when people, the community, get behind you and keep it going, that's what it's all about. Anyway, my time is up because I see you got a lineup of guests coming.
We do have a lineup here.
They're all putting their hand up, which is awesome.
We're very lucky.
Once
Good
again,
on
I'll
you,
shake
Bordo.
you guys' hands.
Good on you, mate.
And yeah, all the best.
Good
Have
to
a great
see you,
week.
mate. Good luck. Well, there you go. Man of the people.
Nick B, as always.
Should we go a young? What do you reckon? A young generation, next
We
generation.
should. We should. Why not?
Okay. Well, here's a young girl. She's been waiting patiently. She wants to come on. Come in. Nice t-shirt. Nice
A
t-shirt.
Rolling Stones t-shirt. Love it. How good's that? All right, so
Well, here we go. So we talk about the next generation of people coming to the festivals, keeping the Greek culture alive. We've got young Callisto. How are you, Callisto?
I'm good, how are you?
So how old are you?
I'm 10, turning 11.
10, turning 11.
so is this the record for our youngest guest?
You know what? You could be.
You could be.
Mary Koustas had her daughter on.
That's true too.
So
Yeah,
she was about the same age, I thought.
roughly. Yeah, you're in good company. Very
Thank
good
you.
company.
So, Calista, tell us, what's your experience in the Greek festival? Are you enjoying it today?
Yes, it's very big and I like the dancing over there
Yeah.
and I love the music.
Fantastic.
How good is that?
And you just live around the corner, don't you?
Yes.
See, all good people live in Brighton, Tom.
That's true. Very true.
So, do you Greek dance? Do you go to Greek school?
I do Greek school on Thursdays
Yeah.
after school
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
I don't Greek dance but I'd love to.
Okay, because I know your grandmother's a good Greek dancer.
Yes.
And so, can you say something in Greek? What have you learned at Greek school?
Γεια σου, τι κάνεις?
Oh, there you go.
Great start. Well
Good
done.
start. Well done.
Very good.
And when was the last time you were in Greece?
I went last year and I haven't been in like 5 years, so last year was like a good holiday.
Yeah.
So you look forward to it whenever you go over there.
Yes, definitely.
What do you love the most about going back to Greece?
The beach.
The beach. Fantastic.
And do you know what part of Greece your grandparents are from?
Labanitsa.
Oh, this is a stitch up. This is a stitch up. Come on.
Wow. Guess what? So am I.
Are you related, Nick?
Yes, this is my niece, my first cousin's child. Calista, you're a champion. So tell us, so what do you want to do when you leave school? Do you have any aspirations to get into?
I really want to be a teacher.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
A Greek teacher?
Yes.
A Greek teacher? How good's that?
And do you want to teach like 5-year-olds, 13-year-olds, young kids, older kids?
5 and 6 year olds.
Okay, wow, okay. So you're nurturing nature, want to give back to the community.
So kindergarten year 1, something like that. Yeah. Fantastic.
Good stuff. Well, it's good to see people like you embracing the Greek culture, turning up to a festival like this and going back to Greece as well and telling all your friends about it. So how good is it being Greek? Is it good being Greek?
It's good. It's like so much like stuff to learn about, like what the Greeks have done.
Fantastic.
Well done, Calista. Well, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
You're a legend. All right, just
Good on ya.
take your headphones off.
Thank you.
Thank you, Calista.
Nick, you must be so proud to have a niece like that, honestly. Like, you know, to be able to say the things that she just did about her culture and how proud she is.
Definitely. Look, I think that's it. That's the good thing about it. The next generation of Greeks is coming through. It's not really getting snuffed out.
Yeah.
Her grandmother was born in Greece.
Yeah.
So her dad and her dad was born here. So it's carrying over to a third generation now.
Amazing.
So we're in good hands.
Well, let's keep with the family theme then. You know, you can't take all the thunder and have all your family on the show. We're gonna have. we found someone at the front here in the crowd.
What a guest! Our biggest supporter.
She's probably the one that makes this show tick more than anything. That allows it to tick.
Definitely, 100%.
So for the first time ever, Dimitra, my wife. Welcome to Ouzo Talk.
Welcome, Dimitra. How
Thanks
does it
for
feel?
having me.
3 years, finally, you say. About time you got me on.
And finally you got me on. Yep.
Classic.
How do you feel?
Mate, we feel
Having me
great. Because you're like the backbone of the show as well. You know, you're forever, you know, lending out Tom to me so we can get him on the show.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Hey.
You have Ouzo Talk because of me.
Classic. Look, I've really got to thank you though. When we went back and saw your village as well, where you're from last year, mate, what a place. We talked about it as well in the episode. I had a really good time. All your family and friends were like my family and friends.
Yep.
You know, very, very accommodating people. Good race of people up at Lacones.
Corfu is beautiful in general, but yeah, we've got a very special place down in Palokastritsa and in Lacones. The view is outstanding.
Amazing.
The food is even better.
Yeah.
Can vouch for that.
But yeah, Greece in general is beautiful, so you can never have a bad trip.
So how does it feel for you? Like you're born and bred in Greece. Did you ever think you'll move to Australia so far away from Greece?
No, never thought so, but here I am. Nearly 15 years later, still here.
So Tom goes to Greece, picks up one of their finest and brings them to Australia.
That's the way it works. That's the way it works. Well, look, we've obviously been to a lot of events like this back home, you know, in Kerkira. Dimitra, how does this compare to what we do over there? I mean, it's different, obviously, but what are your thoughts? You've had a chance to walk around now.
Yeah, it is very different to what we do over there. Like, this is much bigger, more
organised.
Yeah, yes.
What, this
yes.
is more organised?
Of course it is more
really?
organised, yeah. You should know better. You're Greek.
Okay.
And for Greeks here, yeah, we are much more organised.
Well, tell the story about what happened with the Panigiri at Palokastritsa just a few weeks ago. I mean, that thing was organised on a dime. One day it wasn't happening. The next day there was a whole Panigiri organised.
Yes, that's how it happens there.
Wow.
From one day to the next, they had a panigiri all set up. Where here, you probably have to organise it months in advance, and
But that's what I love about Greece, though.
Yeah.
Drop of the dime, you can just set up this massive festival. Like Nia, we had Nia on earlier. All these rules and regulations and funding and what you have to do to get a festival like this happening.
Permits, insurance, all sorts of things, and then you go to Greece and drop of a hat.
Fucking get out there. Bring a couple of tables out.
Put a few arnya on.
Yeah.
Well,
You got yourself
literally,
a
that was the
festival.
case. You know, a few tables, a band, and arnya, souvlakia, and that's it, really. And everyone was up and dancing and having a good time. I mean, everyone is nearly up and dancing down at the other end from here.
Oh,
at
really?
that stage. It's beautiful, actually,
I
to
can't even
see.
Is that what they're doing down there?
Yeah.
There's too many people here. You can barely see.
I can't see anything.
It is actually really, really nice. You know, and it's nice for our kids to actually see all the traditional dances and all that stuff. So it's good.
Definitely.
Well, that's the whole thing, isn't it? I mean, we've got to be... Events like this are put on because, you know, we're proud of our culture and we want to spread our heritage and we want to portray our culture in the best possible light. I mean, Dimitra, do you think that that's what we're doing here today? Like, what's the purpose of having events like this, do you think?
Oh, well, definitely. You know, our kids growing around this, it's the most important thing that we can do. You know, not everyone is fortunate to go back to Greece every single year, like we are, and I think events like this do actually educate our kids and show them a bit of what Greece is all about and what we do.
Well, to that point as well, now that we were at that Panigiri that we were just talking about, our little bloke went towards the band. He gravitated towards the music and the dancing and whatnot, and he was sitting on the periphery for about 10-15 minutes looking at it thinking, I want to get in, but he was a bit shy to begin with. And before you knew it, you know, his nuna came up, grabbed him by the hand and said, are we going to go? And he said he took a little bit of cajoling there, but he did end up jumping in. And mate, by the time the night was out, he was right in the thick of it. And then, you know, at the next event we were at, which was the christening, I think, mate, he was right in the middle doing Zebekiko and doing all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Good on him.
he just loved it. He just embraced it. So we
Yeah.
were also proud of him as well for embracing it and giving it a go. Like from nothing to actually be dancing as a bekiko and hasapo serviko with adults and keeping up to the beat of that. He was
He did a great
impressive.
job.
Yeah, like I dance good like that, but Tom doesn't.
I'm terrible. I'm the musician in the family. I can't dance.
So at least you contribute somewhat.
That's right, yeah.
Fantastic. Good parents, you're teaching him the culture, the dancing and so forth. So I think we're in good hands.
Think about how many kids are going to see that and have that same experience I just talked about.
Yeah.
Where they're going to be looking at those dances and think, maybe, you know what, I want to be part of that
Hey,
dance
I
group.
want to be part of the Pondian dancing. That was amazing.
That just happened, did it?
That just happened, and I just loved
Tell us
watching
about
it.
that, because we didn't see
tell
it.
us. We've been missing out here.
Oh, well, yeah, there was the Pondian dance, obviously, different dances, but it was just beautiful to watch. Like,
The costumes
you
as
know,
well?
we are, full-on costumes and everything, boys and girls dancing, even some older women, and it was just beautiful. You know, we're from a part of Greece that it is different, and to see the costumes and the traditions of all the different places in Greece, it is just beautiful, even for me.
Yeah.
You know? So it's not just for the kids, it's for the adults too.
Definitely.
No, it is, definitely. And we're so diverse as well. Like you said, the Pondian dancing, we have the Kalimnians, the Cypriots, they're all, there's so many different dance groups and they're all getting up there.
Yeah.
So it's good to see. It's not all the same.
Yeah.
It's very different. So fantastic. And the Pondians, I think they're one of the biggest ones here in Sydney.
They would be. They seem to be at a lot of these events as well. Like, it's amazing. Like just the costumes, the diversity of the dances, the diversity of the culture. Like, it's one of those things that we as Greeks should really be proud of. There always seems to be this fine line between being too patriotic about where you're from versus, the fact that we need to spruik that we're Greek. But the thing is, if we don't take pride in, the dances, for example, where we're from in Kerkera or you're from in Ipiro, that stuff doesn't happen. We've all got to own it, and we've all got to do it in order to be able to show everyone else how amazing it is.
Yeah, it's a culture within a culture.
Definitely.
That's what it is. Oh, fantastic. And look, it's a shame we didn't get to see it, but hopefully someone's recording it.
A lot of people were recording it, yeah.
It's okay, Dimitra saw it. That's the most important thing. She relayed it to us. All right, fantastic.
I can see all these people walking past your booth, guys, and looking in. I think they want to be interviewed.
I'm sure they do. Well, we've had we've had plenty of interviews today, actually. It's been great.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
How does it feel for you to actually be on the show for the first time?
So weird.
Really?
I'm so nervous, but then on the other hand, I'm so comfortable with you guys.
Natural.
It's because we don't have alcohol here. If we had alcohol here,
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I think that's the only thing missing at this festival. You can't really drink.
You can have a coffee.
Yeah, I did bring a hip flask though, but
No,
sorry,
he
Nia,
didn't.
if you
Not
heard
allowed.
that.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, no, I didn't. Nia. Yeah, no, we got strict instructions. No bottles, no glass. Couldn't have any of that here.
But we did obviously get plenty of coffees from Bay Vista. Well, our sponsors, Bay Vista, Eurobay, Mooch and Me.
I
these
just got a
guys.
coffee from Much and Me not long ago, actually. But there is a bar down the other end.
Yes.
Where you can get alcohol,
Okay.
plastic cups. So yeah, if you
All
want
right.
me to go.
That's where we'll find. That's where you'll find us later
I
on.
think we're going to end up there. Yeah, I think so.
Love it.
So we got like 6 cups of coffee here. So thank you to is it Mooch and Me or Bay Vista? One of
Well,
them.
it's a conglomeration of all of them today because they're all part of the same family, obviously. So
Yeah.
Eurobay, Bay Vista, Mooch and Me, Meet the Greek, all part of the same family. So thank you so much for your support, guys, and
definitely.
for supporting the festival. I mean, as we said earlier, all of us here it's such a small and tight-knit community, and everyone is lifting their weight in order to help this happen.
Correct. Yeah, everyone's contributing in their own way. The contribution part gives us amazing festivals like this. So
That's it.
Good stuff, Mujos family. And Dimitra, you're a legend. You're like a natural.
Thanks for having me, guys.
We might have to replace you with Tom one day. If Tom's not here.
She can
Why
replace
not?
me. Yeah.
Hey?
Why not?
Good stuff, Dimitra. So how's everything in Lakonis? All good the way you left it?
I think so.
It's a great little
Should
place.
be. I just want to go back.
Yeah.
Can't
We
stand
all
the
do.
weather.
You know what? I can see it in your. You guys, what? How long you been back? A week?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to take at least 2-3 weeks for the depression to. I feel like I'm talking to you, but mentally, spiritually, your body's, you're mentally still there.
Right now, watching out, like the people walking around, the weather is so nice. I actually feel like I'm back in Greece. So
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I feel like you smell the souvla as well going on.
That's what we were saying before.
Yeah.
So yeah, it has a bit of a feeling that we're back in Greece. But yeah, I miss it, and yeah, hopefully we'll be back there soon.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I was like you. It took me a month. I'd be looking out. What the fuck am I doing here? You know, swimming in the Mediterranean. Having amazing food. Having the community, people around you that you know. But anyway,
Mate, there was a very clear moment when we were there together last year where you were having a coffee and a tiropita stomazufi,
Yeah.
overlooking the water, and I came and I met you, reading a newspaper, and you said one thing to me. It's like, why can't we just do this every day? Why would you leave? I want to do this every day.
so that was that coffee shop. Overlooking with amazing
That's
views.
the one.
Yeah, okay. I gather every morning. Get my tiropita, coffee, and the views are amazing. It's hard to articulate in words what you were watching. You could see Ipiro, couldn't you?
Now that's the other side.
What was I looking at?
Out towards Italy, so
Italy,
open
that
ocean.
way.
So
Okay.
on that side, the sea really does sort of meld in with the sky. You can't, most days during summer you can't actually see where the sea ends and the
Well,
the
it
sky
could be the low
starts.
clouds. At once I thought I could see land, but it might have been just the low hanging clouds and stuff. Who's this legend?
Here's our little bloke.
Hey?
Yeah.
No, beautiful
One of
place. Look, amazing. And I know how hard it is for you to leave that to come here.
That is very hard.
Hey,
Very
Tom,
hard.
See what you've done?
I know.
Things you do for love, huh?
Oh
Remember that?
yes.
Was it worth it?
Yes, it is.
There must have been a couple of caveats. As long as we go back every year, I'll go to Australia.
No, that was not even the deal, It just happened that we both want to go back every year, and now with the kids, we want them to experience our culture, our home there, and we want them to feel like they've got a home there the same way they've got a home here, and it's important because this is who we are. So taking them back every year, the most important thing for me. I hope that we will be able to continue doing it. It is hard. You sacrifice other things
100%.
to be able to do that.
Yeah. The only bummer is that we're so far away. It takes 24 hours to get home,
Oh
to get
my
to
God.
Greece and back.
Yeah, I know.
And those 24 hours, Philip always asks, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet?"
He's like Bart Simpson.
So all those Americans listening that complain for 8 hours, harden up.
8 to 10, yeah.
8 to 10.
It's nothing.
Or 12, whatever it is. Harden up,
Yeah.
boys.
It's nothing. You got it good.
Well, it's about 31 hours for us from the time we leave home till the time we go back home to Corfu. So it's a
I
long
can only imagine
trip.
you now, your first trip to Australia, thinking, where the fuck are we going?
Okay, do you want to laugh?
Yeah.
Tom goes, "I'm from Australia." I'm like, "That's great." Now, to
Where
all
is
my
that?
teachers listening back, I didn't know where that was. I said, "That's okay. Maybe I'll come there one day." I thought it was closer.
Geography was not a strong suit.
And that first time I got into the plane, it was with my mother-in-law and my brother-in-law coming to meet Tom.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh my God, how much longer?" It was long. And then I realized where Australia was,
Wow, so far away. How big is the world, eh?
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, great job. You've done well. You've set up a beautiful home here. You've got 2 amazing kids. You've got another beautiful home in Corfu. So you've got the best of both worlds, I think.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you.
Well done. Great having you on.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tommy.
See you later.
See you later.
See you at home. Spaliatis.
Padofla.
Love it. There you go, mate. Hey, the whole family's been on. You want to say hello, Philip? Say a quick hello
Say
into
hello.
the microphone.
Hello.
How was Greece, Philip? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
What did you enjoy about Greece, this Greece trip? 3 of your favourite things in Greece.
I liked hanging out with my cousins.
Cool. Yeah.
And going out to the park.
Park, yeah. I heard you played soccer when you were there as well.
I loved it.
Yeah. What's your favourite food?
Pita.
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 Ooh,
Yeah.
Which pita?
Gyro.
Gyro. Fuck hell. I like the way you said it like a Greek too.
You did. He did. His Greek actually got a lot better while we were over there, and that's one of the important things when you go over there. Your Greek really does get a really good shot in the arm.
Yeah. How old are you, Philip?
6 years old.
6 years old. Wow. And you're playing rugby league, you're playing soccer, you do so much, and you're only 6.
And he's appearing on Ouzo Talk.
Fantastic. Mate, I think you make a good host one day.
He's the one who's got to take over. If I'm sick, he's going to come in and sit next to Nick, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have
Very
a shot
good.
of Ouzo or what? You're the best. Good on you, Philip.
Good job, Philip. Good stuff. Thank you, Philip.
First. Thank you, Philip. Thanks for coming on.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, it is a family affair here today, isn't it, Nick? How good is it?
Mate. No, you got a good family, mate. Good kids. Should we get Dion on? No.
I want to do that again.
I'm sure
Mate,
you do.
we will. We're going to get you on again.
Oh, what's going on here? We can
fantastic.
see, there's bubbles all over the place right now.
So where are we? 3:20.
3:20, the official.
So we're up to the official ceremony has just started.
There
So
you
we've got all
go.
these politicians here now. The crowd is getting bigger.
The crowd is getting bigger.
Definitely
Let's
bigger.
be honest. I mean, there's
Yeah.
and like you said earlier, there's a really good mix of age groups here.
Yeah.
So we're seeing young kids, babies, teens, people in their early 20s, their 30s, their 40s. It is an absolute smorgasbord here today. And you can tell a lot of them are Greek, but there's a lot that that aren't. And and there's a lot of interest in the podcast here. People are coming past, and we've got coasters here on the table.
Definitely like
of,
those three there. Oh, there's Ouzo Talk.
Yeah,
See them?
well, there's a few people that I've noticed who have walked past who are like, "Oh, there's Ouzo Talk." And I'm like, "Oh, go and grab a coaster."
So you got a better view than me.
You reckon?
Yeah.
That's about the
No,
same.
it is, and look, we got to talk about Brighton Le Sands. It's quite historic.
We do.
We are. We got beautiful Botany Bay just here, and this is where the first fleet, I guess, landed.
Botany Bay is where the first fleet landed. So for those who don't know, the first fleet is obviously came from the UK, and they were actually prison ships, weren't they?
Well, there was 11 tall ships. Probably, I don't know the exact count, but there's actually there's a monument here facing Botany Bay, and there's 11 ships, and there's names of everyone that was on those
Yep.
ships, and there's a dot. That dot represents they were convict.
Yeah, right.
So most of them were convict, but there were a couple of free settlers. But they didn't last long. They only lasted here for 4 or 5 days, or
Yep.
maybe 6 days, and then they went out the bay, turned left, and went up to Sydney Harbour, which they labelled the one of the best harbours in the world.
Yeah. It's not hard to see why, is it? I mean, originally I think where they actually landed was actually close to La Perouse, so it is Botany Bay.
Opposite,
So,
yeah.
Opposite. So
La Perouse, funny you say that. The French were here.
yes,
French were here. There was 2 ships.
Correct.
And the captain was La Perouse.
That's
was
right.
He had 6, 7 names, but the last 2 were La Perouse, I think. But he was here, and they lasted, I think, a couple of weeks as well.
Yep.
But the sad story with them, when they left, they were never seen again.
Yeah.
So those 2 ships went up to Queensland, around that area where you've got the Great Barrier Reef, and they were lost at sea.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Yeah, you're right. This is a historic area that we are in. It's it really is the cradle of where at least Western culture came to Australia, and obviously we've got our indigenous culture here that's been here as they say 60, 70,000 years or so, longest continuously running culture here.
definitely.
It's easy to forget that when you're when you're sitting here and you're here all the time, you live here. But yeah, you're quite right. This is historic ground on so many counts.
Well, that's why Brighton it's called Brighton Le Sands.
That's
There's
right.
a lot of French restaurants down here, or at least there was. Sans Souci is a French word, all because of the French that settled here, or came here when the first fleet, Captain Arthur Phillip, came with 11 tall ships. There's actually a road here. You heard of Frenchman's Road?
Yes.
Okay, you know why they call it Frenchman's Road?
Tell me.
So when the English went into Botany Bay, went into Sydney Harbour, a lot of the convicts wanted to escape. So they knew the French were here at Botany Bay, so the track they walked to get here, they used to call it Frenchman's Road.
Wow.
So it was a walking track.
Did not know that.
Yeah, from there, and then over the years, the French ended up leaving, but they just called that the Frenchman's Road, which is a lot of the convicts try to jump on the French boats to get back to Europe.
Yeah.
And that's how the name stuck. And now they've built an actual road, Frenchman's Road, from back then.
There you go. So, moral of the story is, if you want to get out of Australia, take Frenchman's Road.
Yep.
You'll need to take a detour to the airport, but
It's on
you'll
the
get
way.
out. It is on the way.
It's on the way to the airport.
That's the other thing. We are right next to Sydney Airport here, aren't we?
Yeah, exactly. But look, just saying that as well, when do you think the first Greeks arrived into Australia?
Well, we've had this answer on the show before. I can't remember who it was that gave it. It may have been Leonid Yanushevsky or Yamadir Panagiri. I'm pretty sure they were actually on the first fleet.
Yeah.
Was it earlier than that?
No, it was a bit later. So 1829, there was 7 sailors from Idra. So 1829, that's when Greeks were going through the independence,
Right.
fighting against the Ottomans. They were actually on a boat called Iraklis.
Yeah, right.
And Manolis, what's his name? He was the captain of the boat, and they were sailing around near Libya. And there was an English cargo ship going from Malta to Alexandria. They intercepted it, they took a lot of their cargo, and they were heading back to Crete. And a British warship intercepted them. And what they were doing was they actually stole ammunition.
Yeah.
So the English were selling ammunitions to the Ottomans. So this Manolis guy and his mates intercepted this cargo ship, took it, but a British warship intercepted them near Crete, took them back to Malta, and they said, that was treason, what you've done,
Yep.
it's piracy, we're going to kill you. You got the death penalty. And then, I'm not sure what happened, but they ended up getting sent to Australia.
Yeah.
And that's how the first Greeks came to Australia. I think it was 7th or 27th of August they came into Sydney Harbour.
Wow.
They were convicts for about 2 years, I guess, and they got released. 5 of them went back, 2 ended up staying.
Wow.
And the one of them ended up staying was they called him Gibbis Vulgaris. I think his name's Gibba Vulgaris.
Yeah, right.
He ended up marrying an Irish woman, had 10 kids, and he's buried somewhere on the border of New South Wales and Victoria.
Yeah, right.
And John Lucadellis, our good mate from
Yep.
Canberra,
Who also is originally from around here.
he organises the Canberra community there to go down every year.
Yep.
And they put wreaths around his tomb, so
Fantastic.
a bit of connection and a bit of history with the first Greeks to Australia.
Yeah, and it's important to mention the fact that Australia is a relatively new country, by modern standards.
Yeah.
But we are, the Greek connection goes back pretty early on, doesn't it? Like it's very easy to forget that.
100%, yeah. Look, 1829. And they were innovators as well. So I think his name was Andonis Manolis. He was one guy. He ended up staying back. He showed all the English a new way to grow grapes. And they were innovators as well. So they brought back their techniques of farming and introduced it here into, I think it was the Picton area and down there. So there's I started reading about this because I thought we'd come up in conversation, but I can't remember half the stuff I read, but that's what I got out of it. But yeah,
all you need to know is where we are is a very important part of the history of this country where we are right now. This is such an important area for Greeks as well, in the same way that in the US, you've got Queens where there are so many Greeks, and this isn't even the biggest one. In Sydney we've obviously got Marrickville, that's supposedly, what is it? Is it Little Greece, Little Athens, or something like that?
Earlwood. I think Earlwood has the most Greeks.
Earlwood's the same.
Yeah.
And then you go down to Melbourne, and it's the second or third largest Greek city in the world.
Yeah.
It's incredible, just how many of us there are.
Yeah. Apparently the Patrice used to stop in Melbourne first. And then come up to Sydney.
Yeah.
So they all got sick of it. I'm getting off this. That was the first.
That would make sense.
Yeah. So they spent 3 months, whatever it was, going across I think it was the Atlantic or Pacific Ocean, one of them. And as soon as they hit land in New Zealand, going, fuck this,
I'm out of
here.
I'm out of here.
Yep, this is home. And a few of the brave souls ended up coming here to Sydney.
Melbourne to Sydney, same thing. It's still Australia.
Fuck it, this will do. Yeah.
Love it.
Classic. But there you go. And I think we talked about with Panagiotis, the first female Greek that came to Australia in our Plessa.
Yes.
Katerina Plessa, something like that. Yep. Yeah. She's from Ipiro too, by the way.
Yes.
So it is. And even today, we've got the HEPA 90th anniversary just here at the Novotel.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's on now.
It's all happening. It's all Greek. It really is all Greek.
It is. No, well done.
Yeah.
So look, this is the little history of Brighton Le Sands and a bit of a connection to Greece. And this festival, Tom, it's just getting bigger and bigger. I think the more people, the longer this goes, the more people are coming. Like, I can't see through the other side of us now.
And this is the thing, we haven't even hit the really good stuff, which is, I mean, it's now, what time is it now? It's nearly 3:30 or so.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got the band Nickel Nix coming up onto the stage shortly.
Mate, it's been great. We've had like 6 cups of coffee and frapperes, thanks to Bay Vista.
Do you feel like you've got more clarity for this episode because of the coffee? I mean, usually we're heavily inebriated for this kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Look, I think I'll think clearer. I don't know if my stories are coming out better, but I'm not gibbering. So.
Yeah. Love it.
Well done, mate. Fantastic.
But look,
job.
this is the first episode back, for another a run into the second half of this season. I mean, we are nearly at the halfway point of this season now. So far it's been fantastic, hasn't it? I mean, we've had such good guests on so far. We've had your Giannopouloses of the world. We've had Christine from Are You Even Greek? I mean, we had Celia Capsis, who unfortunately didn't win Eurovision, but boy, didn't she do a fantastic job.
She's done well. Yeah, she made the final. I think she got 12th overall, which was great. We've had to replace it with Frappé.
Sorry, Nick. We've just had someone mention in the crowd that they listen to the show.
So look, part of what we do here is we grab random people, and we don't know this guy from a bar of soap.
We
don't. He just walked past. He said he's been listening to the Ouzo episode.
I definitely have.
Tell us, mate, what's your name?
My name's Nikita.
Nikita, welcome, mate.
Where are you from? Where are you from?
Basically, my mum's Kalinian and my dad's from Chios.
Fantastic.
There you go,
Yeah.
Chios. Okay,
Yeah,
Mastika.
Loves a bit of Mastika. Very good.
In the last episode, you guys were talking about the Ouzo with the Mastika.
Yeah.
Loved it.
What did you love about the episode? I mean, we were heavily inebriated. We were just talking about it.
Well, basically, I love the fact, obviously, the history of the Ouzo and whatnot, and how you sort of had the 3 different theories of where the word Ouzo come from. We all agreed that it had to come from the Greek term, not the Turkish.
Yeah, that's right.
But I just love seeing you guys get shit-faced slowly. You know what? What do you call Coca-Cola and Raki? It was like Bolaraki. Yeah. I was dying. That was the best.
That's one of your best. Fair income.
Honestly, that was a cracker. But just seeing you guys go downhill and just talking shit.
Yeah.
I'm in the car driving to work, driving to my appointments, listening to you guys, and I'm just dying.
You should have heard the outtakes. Not for public consumption.
No, but you know what? You guys are great. Even the episode of it was an older episode about the Greek Easter when we had that was a really insightful episode. So
glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, love hearing you guys. My whole family listens to you guys. So
fantastic.
Just keep doing what you're doing, man. Even when you get like the Admiral and things like that.
This guy hasn't been planted, by the way.
No, I literally walked past my wife. I'm like, I'm gonna say hello to these guys. Like it was just. Awesome. I love you. I love your podcast. Even the guy that was like, he's got a hit list by Putin.
Yeah, Stavridis.
How's that for a story?
Unreal, man.
Yeah, there's a bounty out on his head.
Is that true though?
Yeah,
it's true. Yeah, like he would have been vice president of the US if Hillary Clinton won. That's how high up he is.
He'd been vetted for vice president.
Yeah. We got recommended to reach out to him. I sent him an email and he goes, Nick, you had me at Ouzo. When do you want me on?
Honestly, keep doing what you guys are doing. Love your podcast, guys.
You're a legend, mate.
Good on you, mate. And look, we hearing you know, you guys are getting enjoyment out of it. It gives us motivation to keep on going.
Keep doing it because you know what, we need more sort of Greek style podcasts and you know even sort of the history of a lot of things like Ouzo, for example.
Yeah.
You know, we would never think where did Ouzo come from. I never have.
Yeah, definitely. And how old are you? If you don't mind me asking?
I'm 32 in August.
And do you live in the area? Where do you live?
Yeah, just in Hurstville. So
very nice.
But parents are in the Shire. Partner's parents are in the St. George, so I mean, it's nice to sort of have the Greek festival back in Brighton. I remember it as a kid here.
Yeah, right.
So
21 years ago,
yeah. I mean, I'm 32 this year, but I do remember it.
Yeah.
How different is it now compared to back then?
Look, I was quite young, but it's sort of nice to bring that Hellenism back to the area.
Yeah.
Because you know, even when I was sort of 16, 17, 18, when Brighton was full of Greeks, which it still is, but you know, it's sort of nice to bring that back.
Yeah, it's true what you said. It's a demographic. The Greeks are moving out. We're going to the Shire.
Well, look, the sort of property market is quite expensive. So people are, you know, it's quite expensive to buy in the area. So they're moving out elsewhere, where there's western suburbs. You know, Marrickville's not Greek anymore. It's a different demographic.
But the Shire, there's a lot of Greeks out there.
There are a lot of Greeks. I mean, my parents are in Kangaroo Point and full of Greeks.
Yeah.
But just sort of depends on the pockets now.
Yeah, exactly. But it's good to have the festival here, you know, the Greek community still alive and well at Brighton, because it is like our spiritual home, I guess.
Yeah, what do you guys live here, don't you?
Yeah, we both do. Yeah,
Oh, you both live
It's
here?
around the
Oh,
corner.
cool.
Yeah, not too far. Tom's like a bit further down the road.
Yeah, down Dole's Point
And we
way.
do our recordings just here.
Love it. It's a beautiful area. Got a cafe just down the road.
Yep.
Get out front
He's the
beers.
best.
Nico's awesome.
He's a good man.
Yeah.
He's very good.
But I've only get that. Oh, mate, nice to meet you,
Thank
mate.
you. So is this going live?
It's not live, but
No,
it's
but
going
it
to
will be. Okay, I'll keep it on.
So
Come
you're
out,
on,
come out
mate.
Wednesday.
I really
Tell all your
appreciate it,
friends,
mate.
You're a
Come
legend,
on,
mate.
good to
Good
see
on
you,
you.
Gitta.
And
Thank you
again,
so
we
much,
did not
guys.
plant this
No,
man.
I promised you guys. Yeah.
good
The
stuff.
only thing that's missing is yours. I'll be disappointed, but
Yeah, well,
that's
we
all right.
we might have a little hip flask back there.
Oh.
Yeah, but we weren't allowed to. So Nia, who runs it, she goes, no alcohol, no bottles, no nothing.
No
It's
glass.
fuck. So we're lucky even have the Mujosses. They've been supplying us
You know,
with
just put in
coffees.
a water bottle, pretend you're drinking water. Happy.
Well, that's what we were
Yeah.
thinking first of all. You know, that's really Greek.
Yeah. But
That's very
I
Greek.
think clearer now. I don't know. I feel like we can converse better.
Oh yeah, compared to your last week.
I feel like I sound smarter when I
There's no comparison. I mean, especially when you compare it to that last episode.
Well, the
Forget
only
it.
episode I can compare it to was the first one that you did, which was the barbecue.
Yeah.
You guys were absolutely
That was
shit-faced.
And
That was
same,
good though.
same people as
Same
well.
Oh yeah,
same
with Fonty
guests.
and
Steve.
cousins. Yeah.
Stavros.
They were legends as well. Man.
But I think we're going to do one every year with those two. So 4 of us, it's going to be like a Let Loose episode.
It
So
has
think
to
of
happen.
something else.
It has to. I mean, that's where the best ideas come from when you're a bit smashed. But
Yeah.
Absolutely.
all good guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, mate. Enjoy the
You're a
festival,
legend, mate. Good on ya. See, this is what it's all about.
Mate,
This is what it's all
What a
about.
good bloke. Hey, what
Champion.
a champion guy. Come in. He just come in like that. Fucking wanted to say thank you. He's on the show. Mate, it's like we know him.
That's it.
Hey? It's like a nephew or a younger cousin or something.
Definitely. Well, mate, this has been a great afternoon. It's so nice being in this kind of environment, especially for me. Like we were saying before, we just got back from Greece. The thing that you really miss when you're not there is the community element and being in with all of these people.
Yeah.
This is a taste of it,
Yeah,
So
it is.
if anything, it's like therapy today.
It is. And you're right, it's the community thing. That's what it is. A lot of people, like-minded people, everyone's generous with their time. Probably good therapy for you, ease your way back into Sydney society. So I hope you're recovered now from the trip.
Mate, I think it's going to take a little while this time around. Although, we have the theory about the depression that sort of sets in and how long it takes for you to get over it.
Yeah.
The problem this time around is that it set in probably 4 days earlier than what it normally would.
Wow.
So before I'd even left.
Yeah.
So, as time goes on, it's becoming more and more difficult to leave. But,
Yeah,
it's part and parcel of, being Greek, and having a life here, having a life there. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's, we just want to connect with our Greekness. We want to be able to connect with our, with our cultural heritage and family. It's all part of it, isn't it?
Definitely. Well, some people say it takes, physically you're here, but
Yep.
your soul and your spirit takes another month to catch up.
Very true.
Doesn't want to leave.
Very
So,
true, mate.
I guess we can end it on that note, mate.
Yeah. Well, Ouzo Talk at outlook.com is the email. Follow us on social media at Ouzo Talk and at Ouzo_Talk on Instagram. We are here at the Greek Festival of Sydney at Brighton Le Sands. Nick Athanasiou, thank you very much, mate. Great to be back.
Thank you, Tom. Love you, mate. See ya. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Ακολουθήστε μας στο Soundees, στο Spotify, στο Apple Podcasts και στο Google Podcasts.